The opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday Night Chit Show.
Sexual situations?
Yeah, actual situations.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Well, don't show us. Don't
No,
show
I'm
us. But how are you doing tonight, Ruben?
I'm okay. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Welcome to the shit show. We're here.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. I can tell you that. I've had a shitty week. But yeah, I got a lot of trees to cut down on. I'm not looking forward to it. And when you walk out there, I sink down to my ankles because it's so swampy, over here on my coop. Yeah. It's disgusting. I need to mow, but I can't mow. See, I don't normally mow when it's really wet anyways, but yeah, it's nasty. But how are you doing, Bruce?
I'm alive. That's okay. Good. How are you all today?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm glad it's Friday.
Me too.
So,
taking over the world.
However, hello everyone out in the chat chat land. Let's see who all's in here real quick. Yeah, did you see on my screen? You can see what people are saying on my screen now. To the right, underneath the pictures there. See everybody's comments and stuff. Hi, Hungar the Scarvarian. Starvarian. But yeah, I'm showing some of these. Hello, everyone. Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you for stopping in. And Robert Allen. Thank you for stopping in. And let's see who this is. Grumpy Old Ninja. Hello. Thank you for coming in here and saying hi. I appreciate that.
Yours so far, by the way. He sent me a story about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And he's got an idea for a graphic novel, and it's pretty solid so far. I'm going to reread the first few pages again and burn through it probably after our show tonight and get back to him.
Awesome.
Been a banger so far.
Good. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you're lurking. I appreciate it. Well, I wish I had a few more lurkers.
So what do you think?
About your fedora? I like it. I have a lot of them. All different colors. Plaid, stripes.
It's like counterpoint.
Yeah, they're nice.
I say I disagree.
Yeah, with that white one on, you look like... Who does he look like with that hat on, Bruce? He looks like some actor from a TV series. I'm trying to remember.
I'm bad with names sometimes.
I don't remember his name, but he looks familiar with the white one on. Oh, the man with a lot of hats. That's good, though. I really enjoy it. But yeah, we've had a lot of stuff happening this last week. It just seems like one thing after the other, some good, some bad, just like every week. And, I don't know everything that happens, but some of the things that I do find out about, I do try to share it when I do have information. So this one thing I'm going to share, my first thing to me really made my stomach churn. So I'm going to give them my award. They're going to get this award because I think they deserve it. And the company, I think it's called, Versace. I'm going to give them the award because this is what they now consider what we want to sell women's clothes. Women want to be her. Men want to be with her, which isn't her. Dylan Mulvaney, the true definition of beauty and grace, is now the new model for Versace. And what I don't understand is who is going to buy his clothes. I mean, look at me.
Dylan, nice dick.
Do I look like someone that can wear those clothes? I'm a normal woman. I mean, I'm maybe a little bit more busty than most women, but, that looks like a boy, a little boy. So anyone that would want to wear that outfit.
Oddly enough, he is a boy, though, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Biologically, boy.
But why would any company think that women want to buy clothes that boys wear?
We are so far away from the 1st of April. I don't see why they put this out.
It's sad, but I saw this come across my timeline. And I go, what the hell is this shit? I couldn't believe it. So I'm giving Versace the Massive Dickhead Award. What is it?
Hungar's quote at 2118. It takes a lot of balls for him to dress up like that.
Oh, shit. I got to see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it does, I guess. So, yeah, he's got some balls. All right.
He's got a handful.
Oh, and look, someone likes your fedora. Diesel Dave. Somebody got any spare eye bleach?
Spare eye bleach.
I know. Oh,
like we should have that as a merchable item.
Oh my God, this is terrible. But honestly, I just don't see how they think they're going to make money. I mean, everybody on the planet isn't built like that, especially women. Maybe little girls, but who's going to let their daughter wear the
daughter of like Dylan Mulvaney? I want to make sure that nobody in my family is around your kid.
This is scary, honestly. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, you got to be kidding. They cannot actually think that anyone really wants to wear that outfit, because I definitely don't. I couldn't wear it. I mean, there's not enough support there on the top to actually have me go in public, because I won't wear it in public. I don't even wear a bikini. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable wearing a bikini. I mean, I don't mind showing a little cleavage, but I don't want to show. It's just like wearing body paint. I've been to a couple beaches in Florida, Hollywood Beach, and there was another one. I can't remember the name of it right this minute, because there's tons of beaches, and they were wearing nothing. These people were painted with makeup to make it look like they had a suit on, but it wasn't a suit. And everybody turned their head. Women, men, kids, everyone was staring. I mean, how could you not? So I don't know. I just, if you want to do that stuff, fine. But don't do it in public where people are forced to have to see it.
Please don't do it.
I just think that's
the last thing you want to see is you and your dick in a fucking 2-piece bikini.
Yeah, it's just banana.
Buy that at Target.
Like that. What was that one guy that wore that gross bathing suit with everything hanging out of it? I can't remember. It was funny though. It was funny, but it wasn't like, a public beach or something. But I just wanted to share that because I was like, I got to give that guy.
Mentally disturbed and had to share. Thanks.
I know it's terrible. I'm really bad, terrible person. But let me Let's see. It says
Hungar
8.
wins the comment award on that though. That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hungar.
I think this is it. No. Yeah, I think that's it. I think this is one of them. But yeah, this one was funny. So here we go. I love this. I came across my timeline and it said I can literally watch this over and over again. If you're sent to ask this man questions, you better have your shit in order. And this is great. So you guys ready? Have you seen this yet?
No.
Unemployment rate in the US, and we have a very high unemployment rate in France. How come? What's the recipe for?
Well, maybe we have a better president than you do.
Your research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
The question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which
Did
was,
you hear
what
me?
Did you want
Did you hear me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude. Okay, question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are a lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China.
President, overall, South Korea has done 5 times more tests than the U.S. per capita. Why is that?
I don't think that's true. Who are you with?
Yahoo News. It's not true per capita.
Do you want to respond to that? If you have the numbers.
South Korea's testing was 11 per 100,000, and we're at 17 per 100,000.
Right.
So
Are you going to apologize, Yahoo? That's why you're Yahoo, and nobody knows who the hell you are.
I love it. I love him. I love that man because he doesn't put up with no shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about all these dumbasses that ask the same shit day after day after day, even though he answers their question, right? And then they ask the same stupid question. The next person asks the same stupid shit. And I think it's great. That's why I want people to see Trump as a real person, you know, to show that he says F you, basically. He's not saying fuck you, all of you, which he probably is thinking that he wants to do. So he does hold his tongue. Honestly, I'm telling you, I just wanted people to see that because I just want people to realize that he's a real man. He makes mistakes. He's not perfect. And the world's a shit show that he's living in, basically. So, oh my God, I'm so sorry if I'm driving people nuts, but it's just important that people see this. But just give me 1 second. I got to figure out what it was. What is this one? It's called, it's on X, Doctor Status. Okay, this is the one I want to share. Okay, hold on. I couldn't find it. I don't know where it was on my list here. This one I really like. Where is it? Sorry, guys. I can't believe I get these mixed up every time.
Welcome to the shit show.
This is how you know it's live, at least. I mean,
I know, and that's what sucks about it.
On brand.
I would rather it be live like this.
Oh, it's terrible. I wish I was better.
And show us next item, Janet.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
You have shown improvement.
It's not in order for some reason. I'm going up the list here, trying to find it.
While she's doing that,
I think this is it. I think I found it. Sorry. Here we go. All right. Sorry. All right. I saw this come across my timeline. I thought it was funny because it's got that guy in the mask that was in that one movie a while back. I can't remember what his name is. Everybody called him something. But when this came across, because everybody knows this guy, right? You guys are recognizing him now. He's the only conservative on, is it CNN? I think. But I saw this, so I wanted to play it. It's not very long, but it's just funny. So let's listen to this.
I don't, but you
what
do.
You lack in a legitimate point, you make up for it in personal input.
I don't. You
personal insults. The point I am making is in this new world order, we are looking at countries, whether or not they're an adversary or ally, it is being determined on what kind of deal we can get. And we cannot govern, we cannot legislate that way. We are increasingly isolated on the world stage.
No,
so if you want to engage in personal insults,
we're not
if I were
isolated.
you, I would reserve that for your party, who is increasingly isolated. This blow our position
outside of the United.
You've probably seen this clip by now. It speaks for itself. But we're not here to pile on. We're here to ask a deeper question. Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect? It's a psychological paradox, simple and scary. It says this: the less a person knows, the more likely they are to think they know everything. Why? Because they lack the knowledge to realize what they don't know. Or in less polite terms, dumb people don't know they're dumb because they're dumb. You see, self-awareness requires a minimum level of intelligence. And when you're below that line, you're not just wrong, you're confidently wrong. This is why the loudest person in the room is often the least informed. It's why social media is full of bold declarations and bad takes. It's why some people can't admit when they're wrong, because they don't even know they are. And yet, this isn't just about Tiffany Cross. It's about a culture addicted to opinion, but allergic to reflection. True intelligence isn't how loud you speak. It's how deeply you think. And the wisest people are often the quietest, because they understand how much they still have to learn. So before you speak, before you judge, before you declare someone else a fool, ask yourself, do I know what I'm talking about? Or do I just think I do? Ignorance isn't a crime, but defending it with arrogance, that's a plague.
I love that. I thought it was really, really informative. And I wish more people would do that. You know, we try to find out as much as you can about things. That's why I try to share the links and stuff to some of these things, because I want people themselves to go listen, research, look things up, read, you know, and talk to other people.
Who reads anymore?
I was talking about to Bruce before we started about people that go to the doctor. They go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, I think you have this, whatever it is. And then they'll say, we're going to order some blood tests or whatever. And then you get the test back and they say, yeah, I was right. You have this, whatever it is. Now we're going to start this, or we're going to plan surgery. And they say, and then the person sits there and says, okay. I'm like, what happened to get a second opinion? Don't believe everything just because your doctor or this one doctor says that. I had 3 doctors that told me that I had carpal tunnel. Okay. And I had done all these treatments and electroshock and all this shit, and it wasn't getting any better. And I was like, well, everything I researched about carpal tunnel said it went up the middle of your arm, right? And caused these fingers to hurt. But guess what? It wasn't these fingers that hurt. It was my thumb. My thumb hurt. Every time I squeezed my thumb or did anything, I'd have shooting pains going up there. Finally, I went to a doctor and he said I had de Quervain syndrome. Okay. Something that no other doctor had told me. And so I looked into it, started reading about it. And I was like, that's exactly my symptoms. And guess what? I did outpatient therapy, surgery, and it's well. I've never had a problem since, because I went past my regular doctor and went elsewhere to ask questions. So that's what I wish people would do. Just actually look into things for yourself, because guess what? You know yourself better than anyone else. I don't care what you might think that you don't know about yourself, but you know what hurts. You know if you have a stomach ache, you know if you have a headache, you know everything about you. You just have to pay more attention to you and start asking questions that help you, period, whether it comes to your job or anything. If you do those things, you're going to be better off. That's basically why I thought that was such a good little thing to make you think about, what are you actually doing? You know, are you trying to find out the truth, or you just want to be with everyone else and be a keyboard warrior and report someone over and over again until they get their get their account taken down. You know, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
So that's basically why I wanted to show that. So I got that out of the way.
It is the whole idea that it's mine. If you can't have it, no one can. And they have been told their entire life, given participation trophies, told that they are good little boys, little girls, they can do anything they want. And they're coming to the real world and they're freaking out. You have people that are going to the workforce now that are like, just they can't cope. They can't get up in the morning. They can't do anything, and they're complaining. They have Starbucks complaining if you see it, social media, of a dress code, because they just can't cope with wearing dressing up for when going out. It's insane.
I saw some of that stuff earlier this week, and I kind of felt sorry for the management at these Starbucks. These people have worked there for 5 or 6 years, and now here's this 17 or 18-year-old kid saying, no, I'm not going to wear this uniform shirt that identifies me as someone who can do customer service or take care of an issue beyond the counter. Instead, I just want to beat my chest and say, you're going to deal with me wearing whatever I want out of my closet. And that's how it's going to be. I thought, man, that sounds like somebody that just doesn't really want a job. That's what it came across to me.
And they have to have the common sense to understand at that age that they're not going to get the job. But do you know, I had a friend that worked at the unemployment office in New Orleans. Okay, so down there, and she would tell me some people that would come in week after week to get their unemployment checks, and they'd have to come in with slips of paper showing where they applied for work and these different things, criteria they did have. And they're geniuses at it now because they've been doing it for so long. And it was, she said, you would believe it. They go in and they would purposely not bathe, for 4 or 5 days. They had body odor, and they'd go in and they would apply for the job, and they would be cordial and nice, but every time anyone stood by them, their eyes would water. People would do anything just not to get hired, and because they don't want to work. And that's what we've done. Our society has pretty much said, if you sit at home and you get a check, why should you work? Basically. And it's terrible. And that's what the thing is. There's got to be a cutoff point sooner or later to realize that if a person cannot have a job, there's got to be somebody that can say, hey, we're going to make you have this job, and we're going to hire you no matter what, whether you stink or whatever, and make it work. Because I don't know why anyone would want to do that stuff, but that's what she was telling me, some of these things. And it wasn't everyone. She said most people really wanted jobs and they worked really hard. And when they'd come in, I'd give them suggestions. Why don't you try, wearing this outfit, or try this or that, different things. And she said some of them would call her and say, thank you so much, I got the job, because she went in a little farther than she was supposed to, because she's told not to intervene and, all these kind of rules and regulations. But I never told on her. But the thing is that she did help people get jobs, and that was a good thing. But this is the last story I wanted to do about Trump, because I'm always trying to get people to see Trump as a human, as a real person, not just president, that he was a man, just a regular dad and a business owner before he ran for president. And this is one of the stories that I wanted to share. I thought it was so really touching, and I wanted to share it with everyone before we get into the nitty gritty of things that's been going on. But I hope you guys like this. This is really good.
Said she loves Trump. Says Trump saved her life one night in New York long before he was president, back in the Apprentice days. Told us quite a story. Take a listen.
Trump saved my life, literally. My dad and my mom passed at the same time. I was in a bad place. I was going towards the Brooklyn Bridge. Don't ask me why, but I was. Donald Trump was standing on 97th Street in Broadway. He was at a friend's birthday party. And when he saw me coming past, I was hysterical in tears. And he gently grabbed my arm. He was like, whoa, wait a minute, are you okay? And he said, well, I don't know what you're gonna do right now, but whatever it is, forget about it. Take it out of your head. Your mom and dad wouldn't want that. And he talked to me till I forgot all about what I was gonna do. So he said, let me pray for you. So when I went to get my keys out of my pocket, and I opened my hand. He had placed a folded up, real small, folded up $100 bill in my hand. I framed it literally, and this is a true story. He saved my life. Yeah, he did. So anybody that has anything bad to say about Trump, that it, because he's a good man.
That's something else. What a story. And you hear stories about him like that all the time, too. You don't hear those stories about Obama, Hillary, Joe Biden.
You don't. And I wanted people to hear that. It was moving. It made me cry when I first listened to it, because that's what I talk about. If you see somebody that needs a smile, smile. Shake their hand, open the door for them, show other people that you're a human being, you know.
If a single mom needs some dollar bills, throw them at her.
I mean,
well, I don't have $100 bills to pass out, but the fact that he did that, and no one made him do it. See, no one made him do it, and no press corps came running over to get all the information from him and shit. I've heard tons and tons of stories like that about Trump. Very few other people. I mean, I've heard stories like that about other stars like Ryan Reynolds and a few others. But you don't hear anybody talking nice about Trump. It's always how horrible he's a Nazi. He hates gays. He hates lesbians. He hates black people. He hates Hispanics. All these lies just because that's what they want to. They just want to hurt someone. And I just wish more people would just try to open their eyes and look at him for what he's done and what he's trying to do for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman or what color your skin is. And I don't know. I just hope that works. But okay, I got those out of the way, so I feel a little better now. So now we can start with the real story. And my first one is pretty good, I think. So here we go. Let me bring it up and let everybody dive in. I think this is the one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I'm so bad at this.
Yes, Trumpy.
This actually hat looks pretty good. Got it at Walmart. Oh, of all places.
Generosity is not a communist trait. You have to have resources to donate to somebody to be generous. And in a communist environment, the only entity with the resources is the state. And therefore, they're not going to have the ability to give you $100 bill or a bag of fast food or anything for you to be able to utilize that or for you to have some sort of response to where now you are given something which 5 seconds beforehand you did not. And that's exactly why we live in one of the greatest countries in the world where we can do that. Now, there are other countries where you see these things happen, but those are being deteriorated day by day, and they don't have the same levels of freedoms that you have in most Western civilizations. It's terrible.
That's the truth, though. But this right here I thought was pretty good because I don't really listen to this guy very often because of some of the things he does, and I don't know. There's something about him. I just kind of like, I don't know if I trust him or not. But somebody sent me this, and I went, I guess I'll play this one. Because I don't normally play his stuff. It says the FBI and the DOJ were ordered by Barack Obama not to arrest Hillary Clinton for espionage in violation of 18 U.S. Code 793. In fact, Barack Obama effectively served as Hillary Clinton's personal lawyer, basically. And so this is the whole Lisa Page confirmed to me under oath that the FBI was ordered by the Obama DOJ not to consider charging Hillary Clinton for gross negligence in the handling of classified information. But see, all these people, for many years that I've been doing any of this stuff, it's called me a conspiracy theorist. And I never was a Q person or any of that stuff. I would just say, if you have an illegal server in your bathroom, for God's sake,
right,
that's breaking the law. This is stuff that has to do with our military, all that stuff, all those soldiers at risk because some idiot can zoom into her bathroom at her house and get on the server. I mean, if people could drive around in a van, for God's sakes, and guess what? My phone just lights up like crazy when people are driving by me and stuff of who I want to connect to. So, she she could have caused a lot of people death and to leak information out of her emails or whatever.
Wait,
because
Janet, could have?
Well, you know what I mean.
The Clinton death count.
Sure.
It's high.
But the thing is that that's the kind of stuff I said, and I was called, a dumb bitch. I was sucking dick, whatever, Trump's dick. I mean, I'd get you wouldn't believe some of the hate that I get posted on my YouTube channels and stuff. People going to kill me and shoot me and teach me a lesson, all kinds of shit. I've shared a lot of them with Bruce.
Damn.
He's seen a lot of them.
I've seen a lot of
It's
them.
scary shit. It's disgusting and sad. And I'm not even monetized. I'm not making any money. I do this because I'm an Air Force brat and I love my country and I want the truth out. That's all I want. And I want people to have the opportunity to hear the truth. And just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean I'm full of shit. It doesn't mean I'm lying. But the thing is, that's why you should look into it yourself. But I'm going to play this, and I'm going to share the link to this.
From another echo chamber. You're spreading that medical misinformation. You're broadcasting information that has been verified. Source.
But the thing is, I'm going to share the link to this while you guys listen in the chat, so you guys can go look at it yourself if you want, or share it with other people.
About what the Obama Justice Department ordered federal lawyers to do and not to do concerning the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge tells us in sworn testimony on Capitol Hill, one of the insiders told lawmakers what she was told.
During closed-door testimony last summer, former FBI lawyer Lisa Page said the Obama administration's Justice Department advised the FBI not to pursue the gross negligence statute for Hillary Clinton in the mishandling of classified information. Former U.S. Attorney and House Republican John Radcliffe led the line of questioning about the statute, known as 18 U.S.C. 793. Radcliffe, you're making it sound like it was the department that told you you're not going to charge gross negligence because we're the prosecutors. Page interrupted. That is correct. Page's testimony appears to conflict with then FBI Director James Comey's recommendation in July 2016 against criminal charges for Clinton.
What I can assure the American people is that this investigation was done honestly, competently, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear.
The Republican-led House Oversight and Judiciary Committee investigation ended in January. With Democrats now in control, the committee's new ranking Republican made the Page transcript public.
The transcript releases show an inherent two-tier system, one in which Hillary Clinton gets the treatment that she got, where there was actually at first concern that they were going to charge her, and then with Loretta Lynch in charge, before she recused herself, made it very clear that that was not going to happen.
The tip-off came from a chart drawn up by federal investigators assigned to the Clinton case known as mid-year exam. Fox News has confirmed that the chart listed possible federal statutes for prosecution. Next to gross negligence was a notation, quote, DOJ not willing to charge this. Only known cases are military. Cases when accused lost the information. In response to the Page revelations, the president tweeted the transcripts, quote, make the Obama Justice Department look exactly like it was, a broken and corrupt machine.
The Page transcript also confirms Fox's earlier reporting. The Page testified Russia collusion was still unproven when Special Counsel Robert Mueller was appointed. Brett?
Captain, thank you.
Amazing to me that finally...
Yeah, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, it's finally coming out in the news now. People are starting to share it because it's no longer a conspiracy theory.
Right.
And remember when Kash Patel was being interviewed to give him the position he's got right now in Congress? Remember that? Yeah. You watching it? Because I aired a lot of the stuff as much as I could on X. And one of them said to him, I think it was the Louisiana Senator Kennedy, and he said, have you been called a conspiracy theorist? And he said, yes, sir. And he goes, well, it looks like you're running out of conspiracies. It was hilarious because that's what's happening. Slowly but surely, all of this stuff is starting to come out and be brought to light, proving when the documents come out that it was true. That everything that all these people were saying, that movie that Mel Gibson was in, what's it called? Conspiracy Theory? We need to do that movie because that's basically what's going on. We're starting to see more and more of this shit the lights coming on backstage, showing people that was true, that all of this stuff is true. It's all true shit. And you guys need to, find some more shit to act like it ain't true or whatever. I don't know. I just want people to realize that all the stuff is coming out. But this is another thing. Everybody's heard me talk about, how I am about child trafficking and stuff. So I wanted to share this because I just love this guy. I just can feel the truth coming from him, and that how much he cares about kids coming over the border and what's going on, and how much he believes that Trump is helping save these people. So that's why I wanted to watch this one.
When President Trump hired me, he says, I want you to secure the border, run a deportation operation, and find these kids. So Trump administration, we are actively looking to try to find these kids. We already found some.
So when you talk about these little girls getting raped coming across and little boys dying and they're getting locked in these Connex boxes with no air and 100-degree plus weather, I mean, where does this all initiate from? And what countries are using cartels to funnel them in?
Border Patrol people under Joe Biden arrested people from 180 different countries. That's almost every country in the world. The whole world came to this country because they knew you could cross the border, get released within 24 hours, get a free plane ride to the city of your choice, get a free hotel room, 3 meals a day, free medical care. Actually, I think it was 181 different countries.
Are the cartels facilitating all of this?
Oh, absolutely. Criminal cartels like the, Jalisco cartels and New Generation. So, some of these cartels are in 45 countries around the world.
They're in 45 countries?
So some of these criminal cartels, absolutely. But once you get to Mexico, the criminal cartels they have operation. They had operational control of the southern border. No one's crossing the southern border of the United States without paying the criminal cartels or plaza fees at a minimum. Because you go through their area of operation, you either pay the fees or they'll kill you. So they had operational control of the southern border. Matter of fact, under Biden, I talked to numerous Border Patrol chiefs who would tell you that we no longer have operational control of the southern border. The criminal cartels do. They decide what's coming across, when it's coming across, where it's coming across. I talked to one chief patrol agent who used the term to me, broken arrow. I said, dude, that's over the top. He goes, no, listen, I'm maybe catching 10% of what's coming across that border. He goes, I am overwhelmed. Groups are coming across every day that I can't go. The 2.2 million gotaways under Joe Biden, 2.2 million known gotaways. These are people captured on video, drone traffic, sensor traffic, or through foot traffic that Border Patrol counted that they couldn't respond to because they're too busy changing diapers, making baby formula, making hospital runs, making airport runs, dealing with that humanitarian crisis. 2.2 that we know about. Now, there's areas of the border like Big Bend sector, very mountainous region. 500 people go through that area a day. You wouldn't even know about it because we didn't have the technology there.
Before I play any more of it, remember when Trump was his first administration and he was fighting to be able to get the stuff that we needed to build the wall. Remember that? And he was talking to Mexico, and Mexico was trying to help, quell how many people were coming and things like that. It wasn't as bad as it was under Biden, but it was like every single rhino and every single Democrat was like, fuck you. We want the border open. We don't want a wall. We want as many people to come over here as possible, even though the trafficking was getting worse and worse. People were getting robbed. Remember that one guy that was traveling on a train and stopping at neighborhoods, and they figured it was a train because they started realizing that it was along the tracks and it was neighborhoods, and they were breaking in and robbing people and beating them up, and some of them were being raped and stuff like that. It was like, as long as it didn't happen to Nancy Pelosi or one of those people, they didn't give a crap if it happened to you. They didn't. It just didn't make any sense. I mean, if you say your whole story is that we want everyone to be treated fairly. We want everyone to have the same a place to live and blah blah blah. But their actions don't do any of it. They say one thing, but their actions prove the total opposite. That's like being with a man in an abusive relationship, and he's beating the fuck out of you, and you're bleeding all over the bed. The whole time he's saying, "I love you, darling, and I'll do everything for you." The whole time he's beating you. You know what I mean? That's basically what I see with all this shit that was going on. And it's still going on. People still fighting to stop us from being able to find these kids. They're putting up stops. They're holding up signs like we're some kind of sick bastards because we want to find out where these kids are and send them back home. Or give them to their families, the real families that match with DNA, not just because they say they're somebody that they're not. I mean, why was the Biden administration giving tickets and airplane tickets and shit to all these people and flying to specific states, unless it was a setup for money, for child slavery or whatever? I have no idea, but I'm glad that this man is in charge, and hopefully we're going to get more and more answers. And I think it's great. I'm happy because I have been trying to fight, child trafficking for a very long time, because it's personally affected, child abuse has personally affected my own family. Oh, yeah. And I just think no child should be in this position to where, they feel like they can't do anything. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I shared the link in the chat, so anyone who wants to watch this, but it's a hard subject to deal with, but it's real. Okay, this is really happening in our country, and our country has the highest amount of trafficked people in the world. I hate to say that, but that we're still there. We're number one in that, and that's something I don't want to know. So, all right, here we go. Go to the next thing, because that is really depressing, but I can't help it. That's where my heart is, and I want people to realize that we got to do something about it. But here is something that I think most all of us know about. Let's see if this is the right one or not. Oh, I'm terrible at this. Oh, here's something I thought was interesting. I wanted everybody to see it. Did you guys realize that there is somebody right now that is there's a class action lawsuit against Ziploc bags for causing dementia? So I wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to share the link to this too in the chat, because I think you guys should look into this. But I was interested in this because I really thought it was interesting that there's these things happening all around us, but the news doesn't tell us anything. So either if you don't read it in the newspaper or find it because you live near where it's being done, you probably will never hear about it because we don't have a media that wants you to know about it.
Here's what you need to know about these bags right here, used by over 200 million Americans daily, by the way. And they're linked to dementia and the class action lawsuit that is now in progress. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Clint Steele. I'm a brain and nervous system specialist, and I help people just like you improve your life by improving your brain function, specifically around preventing and in many cases reversing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. For those of you that follow me, I did a video on this not too long ago talking about 750 milligrams of plastic being found in the brains of those that have Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. That's the size of a plastic spoon, folks. So the question is, where are all these plastics coming from? How are they getting into our body, number one? Number two, how are they getting into our brain? So in the last video, by the way, if you're not following me, guys, you need to be following me because I'm sharing this stuff. This is going to help you to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So in the last video, you can search it. I'm not going to share it here. I listed a list of things that we're using on a daily basis that create microplastics. One of the things I didn't talk about is this, because I don't use this. What they're finding here, guys, is this. And S.C. Johnson claims that Ziploc bags are safe to use in extreme conditions, meaning for freezing and also for heating in the microwave.
Oh, no.
People that are doing this, guys, and this is one of the reasons I don't do this, because it doesn't make sense to me to put this in the microwave. It's going to melt. It's plastic. It's going to get into my food. That's not good for me.
So if you're doing this, you got to stop. Here's what happens. There's two ingredients in this plastic bag called polyethylene and polypropylene that break down and turn into microplastics. These microplastics are so small that they can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. And this is how we're finding plastics in the brain. So what can you do? First, go back and find my other video that I did on this subject, guys. Get the plastics out of your life as much as you can, and especially these. If you're using these on a regular basis, you gotta exchange them. I've had a couple of followers, a couple friends of mine as well, share what they use instead. These are 100%. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but these are plant-based plastic. They're not actually plastic, but they're they're plant-based bags that they're using, and they're 100% completely safe. And then the last thing, guys, follow me. This is what I'm sharing on this channel. So make sure to follow me. Make sure to comment, guys. If you're using these bags, let me know. If you've changed them for something else and you already knew this, because I did a video on this before, and you've changed these out, let me know what you're using instead. I would love, and some of the readers or some of my followers would love to see this as well. And then share this. Please, guys, share this. I'm out to save 1 million lives from dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and I need your help. And we've got to get rid of stuff like this because it's damaging our brains and it's leading to end-stage neurodegenerative diseases. So please share this. I love you. I'm Dr. Clint. Let's save more lives.
Yeah, one thing that I haven't used that kind of stuff in a long time. I hardly ever use plastic bowls or plastic silverware or any of that stuff unless I have to. Like if you're, traveling or whatever else, and you have a spoon to eat your yogurt or whatever else in a hotel. But normally I use glass. I drink out of glasses. I have this Yeti cup that I drink out of, but this is stainless steel. But I don't heat it up. I don't drink out of it heated up or anything, but I use glass most of the time. There you go. So there's lots of different things you can do for your own safety. But by sharing that link, watching that link, and finding out more about him and following him, you can research it yourself. But I've heard other people, not just this guy on TikTok or Instagram, talk about it. I've heard other doctors and stuff talking about microplastics for a little while, and that they're finding more and more evidence of these chemicals getting into your food when they test it. So I just thought that was important and something I wanted to share. Do you guys have anything you want to say about that?
No, it's true. Basically, the idea that when you had it all goes down to the Industrial Revolution, and then what the outcome of that after the war. And you had these, chemicals, the Tupperware party started. What do you do with the war machine? You utilize it to different products. And sometimes you did stuff. Remember how you would grow up and you have the container, butter container, and you use it to hold your food in. Mm-hmm. And then now all these diseases are cropping up. My mother, my father, everything like that. So yeah, it's crazy. That's why I don't use plastic anymore. Try to use glass as much as possible, all natural. Make your own food. Know what you're putting in your mouth, and know what you're using to put in your mouth too. Just it's all that.
Anything you want to say, Bruce, before I go to the next thing?
I've been told for years about how plastics are bad and try to get that out of your life, like what Ruben said. I don't disagree with anything what this doctor just said. I'm not a medical professional, but I can tell you that swapping over to glass into products like the Yeti or the Alpine cups or thermoses, those are always good. Stanley sells a damn near indestructible set of thermoses, so you can carry your coffee around like I do. Not that I want you to be like me. I mean, God, don't ever go that way. Don't be like Bruce. But I use a Stanley thermos for my evening runs in the truck, and I'll carry a full pot of coffee with me. It'll stay very hot until probably about 6 hours to 10 hours in. Just all depends on what the temperature is. And the trucks, usually they run hot. So if I set it to where the ass of the thermos is sitting on the floor, it'll stay very warm for the entire trip. Now, like, the coffee is always a necessary item. For me, it's very necessary because I do use coffee to try to help stay awake. It's healthier than other things like smoking or what have you. But
Mhm.
I've got to say that if you have the opportunity to get a hold of a good thermos or a good container for your food and drink storage, do that. You're going to prolong your health. You're going to have a better grip on your mental facilities from what it sounds like. Like I said, I'm not a medical professional, but I think this guy's onto something. And I've noticed that a lot of my friends that have been on the aluminum or on the metal mugs for the past 10 or so years, their testosterone count seems to be pretty high still. These guys still, go to the gym. They still have veins in their arms and shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something. I've always heard that if you are fucking with plastic too much, you're more than likely going to have some estrogen because of all the contact you do with the plastic bottles. And I don't know how that works. I'm not saying I know this stuff,
Yeah.
but it's been repeated on social media for so long that it just kind of drilled into my head. I don't buy vending machine bottles. I don't want a plastic bottle of Big Red. I will go to a store and grab a fountain drink, and I've got my own cup. So you spend less than 49 cents typically on your hydration, which I think that's great. I think that's the way, and I think a lot more people are doing that because I see that at various QTs and Circle Ks all over the city every day whenever I'm going in these places and having them fill out my invoice or sign a manifest. I see this happen all the time. So it looks like it's a phenomenon that's actually started to take off. So I can just say that like this obviously is taking root. There's some more studies that can be done. There could be more knowledge I could glean, of course, but I've been off the plastics for a long time. I try not to do a whole lot now. I will say that whenever I put things in the freezer bags, usually I try my literal best to cook things thoroughly in the crock pot, but I don't know exactly how to get out of that. You showed a product that doesn't have the propensity to leach the plastics into your food, and I would like to know more about that before I start purchasing it, because if I don't know about it, I'm probably not going to procure it. It's just some things I've noticed, and just for my own personal sake, I will say that since I got off the pop and the plastic bottles, I don't drink water bottles full of water every day. I try to not do that. I've noticed my own health has seemed to have gotten better, and I'm not a young man, so I would say if you can alter just some small behaviors of yourself throughout the day and throughout the week, you might be able to benefit yourself. There's a lot of small tips and tricks I've learned over the years, and I think that's one of them. And this guy coming out and saying that these hard plastics are going to be found in your body, well, that's kind of an alarm. We should probably be paying attention to that, and I would love to see a real medical study from a few different accredited sources, which actually would support his casual claims. And I hate to say casual claims, but he's not really giving a whole lot of information there. He just says plastic bag bad, plastic cup bad. I get that. I understand that there's some people they can't be bothered with the knowledge. They just give me the information I need so I can function. I've got a business to attend. Like today, I had to work freaking 14 hours. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to sit around and wait for National Geographic to get through all 3 acts of a documentary. It's just how it is for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Ruben, do you have to leave, sir?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Hey, dude.
Okay. Well, you have a good evening and try to get some rest.
Yeah, I need to sleep. I've been trying to get some more sleep. I've been monitoring everything with technology to try and get better sleep to get better health. So, guys, I'm okay. I'm just tired. It happens. I get
go get some rest and have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
Ruben,
it's Memorial Day, right?
Have you studied on melatonin?
Yes.
Would you use it?
I would, but it depends on it naturally occurring or not. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I know about it. Yes, definitely.
Okay. I've been using that. There's a few different brands that sell various melatonins out there. It helps me get to sleep within about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, do you want to say anything about what's coming up on your channel or anything before you
Right
leave?
now, I I nothing right now. I'm just too tired. Okay.
Fair enough.
No, but just follow me. Follow me. I'll put things out there. I did a podcast with the Front Porch Conservative on Wednesday.
Mhm.
I'll put things out as need be, but right now my focus is just healing up. I think I am going to be doing that. My weight loss quest will be coming back. I'm going to put down the weight and then showing the tracking of what we're doing. So, and then try and to finish the healing process. It's time. It's time. 2025. Let's get it done.
Hey, Ruben, do you like pork rinds?
I haven't had them in years.
Okay, well, there's another creator here on YouTube. I'm going to pimp out Keto Simple. Him and his wife have a really good channel.
Yeah, I know about them. Yeah.
Well, they have some recipes on some of their videos, and their best one that I've tried so far is their chicken tenders recipe, which they don't use typical breading because they're keto life people.
Right.
And they use a pork rind. They use pork rinds. They explain it there, and it's very easy to use, and it comes out really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. I can't hear anything anymore. I'm tired. We'll talk.
I'll send you a link.
Yes, sir. Be good. Guys, take care. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See you later.
Your health, sir. God bless.
Okay. Well, he at least he came. I'm thankful for that because he's always tries to do what he tells me he's going to do. So.
See, gentlemen, Janet always celebrates when you come.
So, but this was something I thought was pretty funny. I like this guy. I follow him on TikTok. And I thought I'd share this. I can't help it, guys. I am on TikTok. I do a lot of stuff on TikTok because it's shorts. And most of my stuff, I started out on TikTok. Okay. And I moved to YouTube when they started taking shorts. So then I met Bruce and, now I'm here. So that's how it works.
Nowhere near the linchpin to your success, Janet. That is completely all yours.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But the thing is, I like TikTok still. I still like it. I still use it. I don't use it as much as I do Discord and X, but I still like it. I like the fact that it's fast and furious over there, basically. But this guy I love. I think he's funny. He's very informative, and I like his point of view and his forwardness. You know what I mean? But he says the stupidity of the left and Dr. Jill's comment is hilarious. So he
is it really fair to call her Dr. Jill?
Yeah, that's what this is
Could
about.
Could you imagine $150,000 worth of you going into college debt, and then here's this Alice Cooper lookalike that has zero credibility calling herself a doctor?
Yeah. But wait till you hear what he says about Dr. Jill Biden. So here you go.
Can someone please let the liberals in on the joke?
The current administration and anyone involved with them, they know damn well that Dr. Jill Biden is a doctor of education. The most idiotic of MAGA cult members, they don't know that.
Okay, liberals, I'm going to let you in on the joke. Like, I know you're not big fans of history, but do you not remember this?
Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife. Yeah, because Joe Biden's wife, because she, he would never do, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
The View was nominating her to be the Surgeon General. According to Whoopi, she's a hell of a doctor. So while you're talking shit on the MAGA cult, we all know she's not a real doctor. We were making the joke because so many of you didn't know she wasn't a real doctor. That was the joke. Like, you understand, we were making fun of y'all. We were making the joke at your expense, at the expense of liberals like Whoopi, who had no fucking idea that she was a doctorate of education and not a real doctor. God, jokes just aren't that funny when we have to explain them.
The bad thing is that satire just doesn't work. Satire just doesn't work with a lot of liberals because now you have to explain the joke. You got to give the punchline, and you have to dissect it.
It's not very much fun, but yeah, it's fun. I just like him, and he's just saying what we're all thinking, and he's good at explaining it. So I really think that's great. But I wanted to share that. with you guys because I just thought it was funny. But it's true because she a lot of people go to college to get a doctorate. So I guess they just like to have the name doctor in front of their name. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but anybody can call me Dr. Janet if you want.
I mean,
or
you
Nurse
can call
Janet.
me gynecologist Bruce.
Gyno Bruce. That's
I know
hilarious.
Bruce. Oh man.
Yep. You just need to get you a jacket and then put 2 stirrups on the shoulders. That's a great costume for Halloween.
That sounds like a good costume for Halloween coming up.
It'd be great. You say, the doctor's in. Form a line right this direction or whatever. It'd be fun.
Remember Patch Adams?
Yeah, why does that name sound familiar? Was that a movie?
It's a Robin Williams movie.
Yeah, okay, I remember it
The
now.
portion of that movie where Robin Williams and his little buddy start, looking at themselves because they went into some sort of synopsium, and I want to say that they were with some petroleum guys and they had white lab coats, and they said, "Hey, look at this. What's stopping us from being considered real doctors?" And they had white lab coats on, and then next thing you know, here's our here's our little clinic. We got a one-armed guy that answers the phones, and he tells you, "I only got one arm. Hold on, I got to answer this other phone."
Yeah.
Comedy gold.
Yeah, some of that stuff that he used to do was really good. But just like my mom loved, she swore that the best comedian, one of the best comedians she ever saw was Tim Conway. So she just loved him. She thought it was hilarious.
From the Carol Burnett show?
Some of his bits was funny as hell.
From the Carol Burnett show, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did your parents like him too?
My parents, Janet. I love Tim Conway. He's
you
great.
did too? Yeah.
He's a gold. Hey, Doc Flamingo, this entire YouTube thing, you don't have to use YouTube to get to rage bait.
Oh, look! I'm wearing my shirt, Doc. See my shirt? I saw this at a thrift store, and when I saw it, I thought about Doc Flamingo, and I said, "Hey, I am going to buy that men's shirt. It's so cool, and it's silky and soft. It's so pretty. I just love it. So I like to wear it. So I thought I bought it, but I just wanted to say, hey, look, Doc, look what I'm wearing."
I love.
Oh, you got your pineapple shirt on with the sunglasses. Yeah, we're both tropical tonight. We look good.
Oh, yeah, very tropical.
But yeah, it's getting to be summer. Or
it's only right now in San Antonio, it's only 85 degrees, and that sounds really nice because it was 101 degrees earlier yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
It was cool today. I mean, the humidity was really low. It was a pretty nice day.
We got a thunderstorm at 3 a.m., so I had to stop sucking from the septic track.
Yeah.
The septic trap was had all these hoses, had my truck running, and then I'm standing in the middle of a field with lightning going off about 5 times a minute. So I'm like, we're going to shut down. We're done.
It's dangerous, especially when you're holding a big metal hose, because isn't it made out of mostly metal?
No, there's metal bits on it, but my stuff's usually plastic. Now my tools, my braking bars and all that, those are all metal, and that's where the danger comes into play. But just being around that and just all the connectivity, wet hoses, if you're stepping on one, trying to keep it steady and the truck gets hit or part of the line gets hit or it's touching like the propane tank, which that would be a fun explosion to be a part of. And it'll be your last moment, by the way, because that's a hell of a blast. But there's like 12 propane Blue Rhino canisters where I had to park at. It was pretty scary. So we just shut down for about 15 minutes yesterday or earlier today, and that was at 3 a.m.
That sounds kind of scary. Oh yeah. But I'm glad you're all right. Everything worked out.
Everything worked out.
Well, here's the next thing I thought we could talk about. During the Biden administration, $5 trillion gone into thin air of our taxpayer money.
Have you seen Zelensky lately?
No, I haven't seen him.
Oh, every time there's a few videos out there where it's just a collection of clips of Zelensky fucking with his nose. It's like they're all tooting up all their money.
that we sent them. But yeah, I just thought this was pretty good. And you guys know I like Jesse, so I figured we'd listen to this. But it's a pretty good little thing. Listen.
Doge says they found almost $5 trillion in payments that are untraceable. The budget line is blank, and they're worried about your Bitcoin. 5 trillion, untraceable. No idea where it went and how it was spent. A $5 trillion blank check. Social Security sent out $72 billion in bad checks. Guess who resigned last night? The head of Social Security. Right when Doge asked Michelle King to have a seat because she was about to get canned, she says, "You can't fire me because I quit." And the press is acting like this isn't suspicious. You may assert there's no waste in the Pentagon.
What?
Nothing to see here.
I know. I love this guy too.
You may assert there's no waste in
Stephen,
Treasury.
I'm not
You may
asserting- I
assert
don't
there's
think
no waste
anyone
in
would assert that,
HHS.
Stephen. Stephen, I don't think anyone.
Then why are you not celebrating these cuts? If you agree there is waste, if you agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire
Stephen, let's calm
salaries
down.
of American workers that are taxed disappear forever.
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is
We're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are
Well, you are
places.
clearly trying to debate me, and I will be as I want to be about the fact that we are saving
They act like a married couple or something when they're arguing like that. But the thing is, I love him because he doesn't take no shit either. I really am liking a lot of these people that Trump picked for the different positions because they all seem very passionate about the job that they have, and I just think they're doing a great job. And the thing is, if somebody came to you and said, "I just found out that there was a glitch in the system at the bank, and we found $5,000 of your money that just had disappeared over time, like $10 here, $20 there. We found a glitch and we fixed it. And we just want to let you know that you have $5,000 back in your account that was yours over the last, 10 years or whatever." What would you say? Well, fuck you, asshole. Why are you trying to save me money? Who's going to do that? Nobody, right? Not a normal person, but basically that's what most of these people are doing that are all pissed off that Doge has found all this wasteful money being wasted. Like with the Social Security, people that were 200 years old still getting a check, but somebody's cashing the checks. Don't you think those people should be arrested and put in jail because they're cashing a check, knowing it isn't their money? It's our money. It's your money. If you're not retired yet and you're not on Social Security, the money that you should make in your future is being thrown away to someone else that knows it's not their money and they're taking it. So to me, it's shocking that so many people are pissed off because we're trying to save the taxpayers' money. I don't know. To me, it's this bizarro land that we have. People that don't want us to save money. But this next thing I was going to bring up is one of the things that you wanted to talk about the South African thing with the president. So I'm going to present the actual meeting he has, and then after that we'll play the actual him speaking at the podium to his people or whatever, saying what he said that Trump was calling him out on, that you're not going to get to see in that part of the video. So I'm going to share that next. So here we go.
Let's see it.
Is this the one? No, it's this one. Okay, make sure I click the right one first. So here we go. All right. So I'll let you discuss most of it when I'm gonna go ahead and start it.
You don't have to really discuss a whole lot. This here, you can actually skip through part of this video because this is CNN doing what CNN does, and it's really weird. CNN does not show. They don't show the TV. It's far off to the left here on this camera angle.
Yeah.
And they don't show the guy burying his face in his hand as he's eating crow publicly because Trump is calling his ass out on.
But Trump does call him out on this video.
I think they do, but
okay.
Then
so that's what I want. I want us.
Hold on,
see,
Janet.
go ahead. Go
Janet.
ahead.
Scroll down onto that white genocide conspiracy theory thing, and
Here?
hit control and scroll up with your mouse, because that way everybody, yeah, scroll up with your mouse and press control at the same time.
Like this?
Nope. Press control and
Okay.
scroll up
With
with your
my
mouse at the same
control,
time.
and then scroll up with my mouse like this. Okay.
Okay,
So
there we
people
go.
can read
Now we can
that?
see it.
Okay.
Yes, the white genocide, white extinction, or white replacement conspiracy theory is a white nationalist conspiracy theory that claims there's a deliberate plot to cause the extinction of white people through forced assimilation, mass migration, or violent genocide. They put this video on the CNN video where they don't even show the video that's in question that Trump forces this guy to acknowledge. And about 30 seconds in, he starts burying his face in his hand. And it's just like whenever you're a young kid and your dad's talking to you. Now, me and Janet don't really qualify for this. Some of you might not either. But you got a young kid that's like, hold on, son, we're going to go through these cookies. Why are you scrolling through bigbustylatinas.com? And the kid's just burying his face in his hand. I don't know, Dad. I don't know. That's exactly what Trump was doing here. He's playing dad to this fucking South African diplomat, this president, supposedly. And, he's allowing all this garbage to go on unmitigated in his country. And then you have the fucking legacy media. Thank God for YouTube and Wikipedia for not allowing us to have the proper amount of information so we can go into this, properly armed and equipped. And when we leave it, we're better educated. Instead, they skip through and don't even show everything. They just show Trump talking tough. They don't show the video. And so there was some other videos I sent you on this.
Yeah, I'm going to play the next one, which is the actual African president saying some of the things about wanting to get rid of these people that Trump was mad and played for him on the TV that CNN doesn't want to show you, right? But I want to play this video anyways, because I want you to hear what Trump says to him before I play what the actual president actually said from Africa. So I'm going to do that real quick. So hold on. I got to go back over there and push play. Here we go.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all.
We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies. And in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
take land. And then when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now...
Yeah, when we have 5 million whites and 20 million blacks.
That's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently. And, we're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here.
Before we go on with that part of it, I was in a space on X. I don't know that many people, if you guys know what spaces are, but I was in a space and there was a person talking about a friend of theirs that had moved to America from South Africa. And the reason they left is because his wife was brutally raped in front of their 3-year-old son by 5 men. So little things like that do happen. And just because
would have not called it a little thing.
No, I mean, what I mean is, I didn't mean it little. I meant many things like that happen. And just because the people were white and it was Black people that did the crime, they didn't kill her at least.
Congolese.
Okay. The thing is that it does happen. Okay. And when you have a government that just stands around and lets it happen, that isn't a government for its people. Okay. And that's why I think a lot of these other countries don't like Trump, because he stands for America first. And when I tell people, I think all countries should be for their people. Okay. Whether they want to do it the way we do it or the way they want to do it for their own country, as long as they're fighting for their people to make sure their people have jobs, places to live, and rules to protect their people, then they should be able to run their country the way they want, whether they have socialistic points of view or any of that stuff. That doesn't bother me. Okay. It's the fact that they are fighting for their people in their country. But this whole situation that we're seeing happening in South Africa isn't them fighting equally for their people. And that's what part of our fights are right now, is that we have 2 or 3 groups of people that are all fighting against conservatives. If you're a conservative in America, you're already the enemy for whatever reason, which doesn't make any sense to me, because I'm a conservative. I got a target on me simply because I'm a conservative. And I can understand the point of view on some of these people saying, well, after what happened to all the Black people, maybe they just feel like they should get revenge against white people. But it still doesn't, that's making excuses for something that happened a long time ago. Those people aren't even, any of these people that are being killed are white, yeah, but they didn't have slaves. They didn't steal land from people and force them out.
No, they didn't.
Just like what we didn't do with the Indians.
The Dutch were the ones that settled in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took the desert, which is what it was before their arrival, and they turned it into a verdant garden of agriculture that really it's kind of a miracle they have been able to do so well within that environment. But yet you have these people that are going to inherit through violence their property. There's no recourse for them. They either stay there, fight, and probably get killed or enslaved, or they get to leave and beg for asylum through people like us. And what will happen is they will lose a generational farm that's been there for 5 or 8 generations total, and that's just gone. And even more importantly, the people that are taking over these farms have really no concern about how farms work. And so they're going to starve out. They don't know how to maintain a lot of this equipment. Now, it wouldn't take much for them to learn, but I haven't been able to find a whole lot of situations on the internet where the new conquerors of South Africa have been able to actually discern the manuals, the tech manuals for the various tractors and other implements for agriculture. They're in the dark. They're punching above their weight, and they're going to find themselves in a situation much like what Somalia was in back in the early 90s. That's what's going to happen. This is fucking Africa. That's all it is. You wait until the United States or some sort of stabilizing force goes away, and then a warlord pops up, and he confiscates all the resources and only doles out the food to his people. And
well,
that happens.
The thing is, if you kill all the people that understand how the soil works there, because they've been farming it for one generation after another, right? And they're growing certain food or whatever there. And then they kill the family, the people that were farming that land, okay? Taking care of the animals or whatever. And I've heard too that they're going in and they're killing the animals and stuff too. So, you know, the sad truth is what they're doing is they're wiping out the farmers. So they'll go in and say, look at us, we got their house, we got their stuff, whatever. But then over next farming season, who's going to grow anything? How they don't even know how to plant everything or grow the stuff the way that these people were doing before. So there won't be any crops.
One of the things that helps keep the soil intact and keep the nutrients there is that various ways there's a rotation of crops where one year you'll have corn, one year you have wheat, one year you have beans, and you keep rotating through, and
it keeps the soil healthy.
It keeps the soil very healthy. A lot of these people won't be bothered to do that. They're going to go to the UN and say, we're starving, we're starving. It's just like these idiots in Haiti. Haiti is a crazy little country not too far from the shores of America, where they're surrounded by ocean. They've got abundant sea life all around them, but instead they eat mud pies, which are a detracting agricultural factor for nutrients going in these people's bodies. But yet they eat the mud pie. It's mud. It's fucking mud. You ate mud when you were a kid and your mom said, stop that. You're an idiot. These people don't have a mom that understands nutrients and dietary health. But instead, you know, here we are trying to fix the third world again. And this is where my dickhead nature comes into play. We've given the equivalent of 11 Marshall Plans to the continent of Africa since the Marshall Plan was a thing. Okay, let's look at over in the Orient where the Marshall Plan was first tested and it worked. We did give them a boost up. We got Japan, you know, rolling again. By the 60s, they were doing stuff. By the 70s, they were competing with us and Germany in the automotive markets. I mean, the fucking Datsun, when they figured out how to get the Datsun to run up a hill faster than the VW Bug, they knew they had some serious contender in the auto market.
Yeah.
Now let's look at Africa, which there's not a fucking thing that's made in Africa that you can't make anywhere else. I hate to say that. They've got, what is it? Nambia. They've got some rudimentary oil technology for exploration, i.e. fracking is going on there, but it's nowhere near what we have here in Texas. It's terrible. So, hey, Hardwick, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, well, I'm going to go check that really quick. I'm going to start playing this again, and then I'm going to go check my email. So just give me 1 second. Let me go back and finish this little thing here, or some
We've been tracking some high tensions at the White House as President Trump meets with his South African counterpart, President Cyril Ramaphosa. The face-to-face is happening just days after a group of white South Africans were granted refugee status in the United States, a highly controversial move.
That's right. And just moments ago, President Trump repeated an unverified claim that they have been subject to genocide, which South Africa vehemently denies. Let's get right to CNN's Kristen Holmes, who is at the White House. And Kristen, I know that you've been listening to this play out. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, this is growing increasingly more and more tense. We saw that the South African president came here with a real charm offensive. He was complimenting Donald Trump, saying that he wanted to reset relations, but things have really taken a turn. Now, all of this is about what you just brought up, which is this claim from President Trump that there is white genocide in South Africa. It is about the fact that there are white Afrikaners that Trump says are being pushed out of their land and being killed, something that the South African government denies. Now, Donald Trump was asked by a reporter in the room, what would it take for you to change your opinion on this, for you to see things differently? And the president of South Africa interrupted him saying, I'll take that one. I think what's going to help Donald Trump is talking to the delegation that I brought with me, that they will tell him that there is no white genocide in South Africa at this time. Part of the delegation there includes two world famous golfers, people who apparently, according to the South African president, Donald Trump asked to come along. Then, in what appears to be somewhat of an ambush, because they were clearly prepared for it, the White House, Donald Trump asks them to dim the lights, and they play a video, which they say is a documentary or news clips that show that there is white genocide. Now, just moments ago, when you guys came on the air, there was an official from South Africa trying to explain what was being seen in that video, saying that these are members of an opposition party, that this is not the government that is calling for the death of white farmers or for the death of white Afrikaners in South Africa. But this is clearly growing more and more tense. And I can tell you, I mean, this was a man, the president of South Africa, who came prepared to court Donald Trump, but I don't think he came prepared for this. He knew exactly what to say in terms of trying to ingratiate himself with the president. He talked about how they brought him a book of all of his big golf courses, how he's been taking lessons on golfing because Donald Trump told him.
Okay, so we got to see the narrative from CNN for this. So now I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to play the other video that you found. So give me a second and I'm going to bring that up. Because this whole thing is a mess. It's like, and that's why all the horrible memes I was seeing from people after they started bringing the refugees from South Africa, you know, people making fun of them because they were white, you know, stuff like that. So it's been really pathetic, most of it. But here we go. I'm going to play this for you. You ready?
Yep.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land.
Yes.
South African occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable
Whatever
member,
you want to do, you can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Honorable.
Were you trying to say something?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard you saying something, so I was going to pause.
That was on the video.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Nyamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
See that? Do you hear what he's saying? Yeah, that's pretty sad. I don't want to play any more of it because I just think it's too I don't want to push their agenda, if you know what I'm saying.
No.
I just want you guys watching to see that this is what they're saying compared to what their president supposedly was saying when he was meeting with Donald Trump.
We're an opposition party, don't you know?
Yeah, so basically the government isn't doing anything to stop the murders and them taking the property and things like that. They're doing nothing. So it's just sad. The whole thing is really, really sad. I'll see you later. Bye, Nerdy. I'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you later. But yeah, it's sad that their government's like, oh well, you know, nothing we can do about it, you know, because they don't want to do anything.
No, there's no vested interest there because they tend to gain more. They would gain more if they allowed the slaughter to continue.
Yeah.
That's where they're at.
Yeah. I went and I found that tweet that I was asked by Hardwicky to play or to show. So I'm going to share that real quick. Let me stop the screen and let me get the other one, bring it up real quick. Sorry, it took me a minute to do that. I'm not so good at this stuff, but let's see. It was J Auto. Here it is.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Here it is. And this is it right here. This is the tweet he was talking about. It says, according to the Truth and the Reconciliation Committee in South Africa, the state security forces killed 7,000 people from 1948 to 1989 during the apartheid. That is an average of 170 a year. It is estimated that since the end of the white rule in 1994, that over 500,000 South Africans have been murdered, or over 20,000 a year. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot of people being murdered, and the government's not doing anything about it apparently. So it's really sad. It's really sad. I hope that you know, that they can figure something out. I mean, it's just sad to see people murdered simply for the color of their skin. It's really sad. I mean, it's sad to see anyone murdered anyways. I mean, defending yourself, to me, I don't see that as murder. If just like me, if someone breaks in my house, I had someone ask, well, do you have the right to shoot someone just because they're in your house? And I'm like, well, if they're in my house in the middle of the night and I'm woke up because I hear them in my home, I have the right to defend myself. How do I know they're just walking around or wanting to make a sandwich? That's ridiculous.
They've
Who
got a
asked
knife and they're
stupid
getting ready to
questions
stab
like
you. That's a pretty, damning evidence. This probably isn't going to be, hey, can I borrow this Tupperware?
Yeah, it's just sometimes some people ask the dumbest question. It's totally ridiculous. Some of the stuff they ask, like, you know, I live in a state where it's legal to own a weapon. I have weapons. I know how to use my weapons. And I got them for self-defense and to protect my property, from, and my animals, things like that, and for recreation. I also go and I shoot.
Can I mansplain for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Janet lives in a state that recognizes the founding documents of our nation. She lives in a state that wants people to be safe and it trusts the people to take care of themselves more than it encourages them to dial 911. She doesn't live in Florida, but she might as well live in an area where there's Sheriff Polk Brady or whatever his name is, the guy that he pops up on the Florida news, and he tells you, please do us a favor, be accurate whenever somebody breaks in your house, and just allow us just to bring over the meat wagon after it's all said and done. That's all we ask. I love that. And I love the fact that Janet's got the ability and wherewithal to where she can, use her judicious accuracy and make somebody not a threat to her family, her daughter or grandchild. I think that's awesome because I do not want her to be waiting in a safe room for authorities to arrive when she could have dispatched the situation faster. And I think that's where all of us here in the chat are at as well, because each one of us recognizes the threat that we have all around us, and we do our best to dry fire or to train or to go to the range and expend a few rounds downrange or whatever you do just to guarantee your existence to be a little safer than what it was yesterday. I think all of us understand that necessity, and it's better for you to be reliant only upon yourself for your safety than for you to guarantee to have to gamble on somebody else's expediency to make you safe. Oops, gotta go.
Uh-oh. Got a phone call, I guess. But yeah, I just think that I'm lucky. I mean, I moved from Louisiana, which I had the right to own a weapon there too, and defend yourself, to another state that has the same rights. But that's what I believe in, and that's the one thing that we're lucky to live in a country like America, because we do have the right to move. If you hate the state that you're in so much, you hate the taxes, you hate the way that you're treated like a criminal, just because you own a gun or whatever, or you want to own a gun, do whatever you can, save, scrape money, get online, look for other jobs, talk to family and friends in another state and see if they can help you find a place to rent or to buy that's cheaper. To help you look for a job or whatever, and move. Try to get away from the state that's draining you of every ounce of wanting to live, and get somewhere else where you feel like I can spread my wings and have a state that accepts me for who I am and lets me be myself. And that's not easy. I'm trying to make sure, I pay my bills and do whatever to be safe. But, that was one. And I believe me, it's hard because I don't have near as much opportunity for jobs and stuff where I'm at, because I'm in a rural area now. Where I lived in a city, I could get tons of jobs every week, doing promotional work. And now I have to really just dig around. I have to drive very far for, less money, because I'm not in a big, by a big city. And, but I decided to make changes because of, it was time for me to leave, because the crime was getting worse, and I didn't know whether or not I would be able to, keep putting up with that kind of thing. And a lot of people have to go through that. So, and, a lot of personal stuff going on or whatever with my family and things like that. So, we all have to make decisions for ourselves. But the thing is, you have to weigh your options, look around, see what's out there, what's available, and make the best decisions that you can. But I'm lucky because I have 4 sisters, all willing to help me out whichever way they can. And I have lots of friends, and I just got lots of good family too, cousins and, people that care about me. And not everyone has that kind of resource. But the thing is that don't just give up and just accept it as, oh, well, this is the rest of my life, and be miserable. I mean, try to do something to change your life, change at least where your environment, or what you have to put up with on a daily basis. Try to fix that to the best of your ability. But the next thing I wanted to bring up, since Bruce is busy, I'll go ahead and do this other one.
Go ahead, Janet.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Just give me a second.
Louisiana, Joe Zatmister says, my DD-214 is my concealed carry permit. Veterans are acknowledged here. That is awesome.
Yeah. That's where I was at. I was in Louisiana, and I loved it. I loved where I live. It's just that, where I was at with New Orleans after Katrina, things just have never went back to what it was like before. When it came to the crime and certain aspects of things were just not the same, and haven't gotten a lot better, even though all the people there and everything. I just really miss it a lot. It was a great city. I just really loved it there. But I wanted to share this because I thought it was interesting. This was something that came across my timeline on X, and it says the FBI censored information about Hunter Biden's laptop to control presidential election. And this is from TikTok, another thing from TikTok that I wanted to share with everybody. But
China. It's from China.
But this is one of the people that helped suppress the information from the laptop, and she's being interviewed. I think it's by somebody in, I don't know if it's the Senate. I don't think it's a Senate hearing. I think it's some other kind of thing in Congress or whatever, but here we go.
Isn't it true that the FBI obtained Hunter Biden's laptop a full 10 months before your story broke?
That's correct, according to the subpoena that I published.
Isn't it also true that we now know that the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force coerced social media companies into an alleged forthcoming Russian, quote, hack and leak operation, and as a result, illegally censored the Hunter Biden laptop story? Isn't that true?
Yes.
And this forced censorship by government agencies like the FBI was paid for by the taxpayer, since the taxpayers fund the FBI. Isn't that true?
Yes.
And Hunter Biden's laptop from hell, it has everything. It's a hellhole and cesspool of corruption and criminal conduct. It has hard drugs, prostitution, pornography, money laundering. It has Biden family shell companies, communist Chinese, corrupt foreign government deals from tens of millions of dollars in exchange for access to the Biden family. The Hunter Biden laptop from hell has all of this, correct?
Yeah.
And the American people are smart. They know that this was not a hack and dump. This was illegal government censorship to protect and prop up Joe Biden on the eve of the 2020 election. And according to polling, of people who were now made aware of the Hunter Biden laptop story, 53% would have changed their vote, including 61% of Democrats. So do you agree that the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story was determinative in the 2020 election, Ms. Morris?
Yeah, there are various polls that say that that there would have been a change in the outcome of the election, and obviously it's immediately relevant to a decision on who to vote for, so obviously.
And do you believe that this government censorship was election interference?
Yes, any censorship of speech prevents your ability to think clearly. Yes, of course, yes.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies.
Shut the fuck up.
I thought that was funny. I love the ending. But yeah, basically, it's little by little, just like I've been saying, is the truth is coming out. But it's sad that everyone has been deemed a conspiracy theorist if you believed any of it. Okay, so now you already have that label on your forehead. I wear it like a badge of honor, basically, because I believe in common sense. When you see something happening and you see it over and over and you're like, what, why isn't anybody talking about it? But they just say, nobody wanted to put up with anything. And now they're all saying stuff like, why is everybody beating this 2020 crap like a dead horse? Okay. The reason I think it's important that we make people be held accountable for what happened during 2020, okay? The lies, the smears, the cheating, all the different stuff, all changed who our president would have been, okay? It took away our rights as American citizens, taxpayers that pay for everything that run this country. But yet we didn't have the vote, the legal right to vote for the person that we believed would save this country or help this country. We basically were forced to take whoever that they is, wanted us to have for money laundering purposes, to start World War III or whatever their reason was, because we haven't gotten it, cleared out enough conspiracy theorists to really know the reason why it happened. But the thing is, more and more this is now coming out. But the sad truth is it's trickling out, drip, 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 and it's not making a big splash, and it's not a dam exploding where everyone paying attention, right? So nothing's going to happen.
You know what I'm waiting on, Janet?
What?
You remember on it was December 25th, Christmas Day, 2020. And we all woke up and there was an explosion in Nashville. Do you remember that?
At the AT&T something.
Yeah, I
and their servers or something.
I keep holding out hope that we find out what really happened, because it just felt like another CIA operation.
Yeah, it probably
was.
was.
Sounds like, oh, Bruce, you're a conspiracy theorist. Okay, so I am, whatever. But I didn't buy the narrative then. And I don't know if it's the fact that, like, maybe I've just seen too many really bad spy movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you, Janet, are going to be privy to that in the future, because you're my movie watching partner.
Yeah.
But we are living through some of the worst spy novels ever brought to life, thanks to our tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like there was something else going on with that. And I would love to know the full story on it. That I didn't think that there was a lot of information that was released that was pertinent as to what, when, where, how, and why all of that happened at once the way it did.
The same thing though with Palestine, Ohio.
Oh, the train
thing. There's a lot of little things like that basically, and the whole thing that happened in Hawaii, right? The fires, the way
paint your roof blue, it'll pass over like a creeping death.
All these different things that happened that we really didn't get any closure to yet. We still haven't found it. Same thing with the stuff that happened in North Carolina. It's just all mysterious, yet we're still hanging, dangle, dangle, dangle.
Well, I mean, like in Maui, it was like all the blue roofs stayed intact and non-blue roofs did not. And then you have the thing in Palestine, like, what happened to the train? Why did the train derail the way it did? Squirrel Hermit.
And
was
but the
right
way
there.
that they supposedly cleaned up the mess, and people have made little videos since then going down by the water and sticking a stick in there, and you're seeing all this
All the
slimy,
petrochemicals.
stuff coming up to the top, and then finding tons of animals like raccoons and squirrels and deer all dead, this all along the water edge because they drank from the water and died. And what do deer usually do? They walk out into the water a little bit and stir up whatever it is. It floats to the top, they're drinking it, and then next thing you know, they're dying. So it's like, why is it that normal everyday people that live there or see what they're posting are the ones that are going, what the hell's going on? Why isn't anyone doing anything? But this is all for the government that basically has been trying to poison all of us, make us overweight, make us unhealthy, do all these things to cause damage to.
Janet, you're getting into some territory that I think we should probably go back to all the RFK stuff that happened earlier this week. And I didn't go into anything on RFK. I'm really sorry about that, but he's really doing a hell of a job of trying to maha his way into the history books. I mean, good God, the guy is just knocking things down. And then you have some idiot congressperson asking him, why are you so against fluoride? What's wrong with fluoride? I put fluoride in my kids' toothpaste, and everything they get. It's got to have fluoride. There's no children's. Nestle sells a gallon jug of water with fluoride in it, and I just want that to stop. I love RFK, guys.
I know. My next one, I decided to bring it up because you were, talking like him. But this whole thing here, I thought was really interesting because we have been bringing up little things about the shots and about COVID and about the chemicals they're putting in our food, dyes they're putting in our food, all these different things. And wanting us to, force our kids to get vaccinations that maybe we don't agree with, things like that. So I like this whole thing about this article that came across my timeline too. It's another one on X. It says that RFK Jr. advises Americans to do their own research and be skeptical of the authorities' medical advice, just like I was talking about earlier. And this is one of the reasons why, is because people have got to start thinking about themselves. Okay, like like I said, if you get up in the morning and you feel like you just feel off, you don't feel like that you're well, that you feel like you're coming down with something, you just have this feeling. Now you could look normal, you're not turning green, you don't have any other, you don't have a fever, everyone looks at you, they can't tell that you're sick. The only way anyone would know is if you told them, man, I got a massive headache, or my stomach's upset, or my back is hurting, or whatever it is that you're having your problem. It's because you know yourself better than anyone else. You know that if your knee's hurting or, whatever. So when you go to the doctor and you try to explain something, like I was talking about they were telling me I had carpal tunnel when I ended up having de Quervain syndrome, which is totally different, and it affects the thumb, not these three fingers. So, but they wouldn't listen to me. They weren't listening to what I was trying to tell them because they feel like, I'm a doctor, I know better than you, so just shut up. I can just look at you and diagnose you, whatever, So I just said, F these people. I don't trust them. I'm supposed to pay these people when they won't even listen to me. So I left. So screw them. And I found a good doctor. But this is good advice, I think. How many of our people in different offices in your state, your Surgeon General, or any of these places in government, have you felt like they actually gave a shit about you? That they were fighting for you or trying to get to the bottom of things to figure out why this is happening, that type of thing. And I honestly, I didn't know what I was going to think about RFK Jr. taking this position. I kind of was skeptical about it, especially when he decided to run. and the person he chose to be his running mate, I was like, whoa, there's no way I want them to be president and vice president. So I don't know. I'm really impressed so far. I really think that his heart's in the right place and that he's trying to make decisions that are best for the people's health. And I really do believe that. And each day that goes by, I believe more.
I've been more disappointed with lately is Rand Paul, because Rand Paul, as much as he might be trying to help out America, he seems to be kind of counter to everything Trump's been pushing. There's been a few votes he's sided with Trump on the Trump agenda, but he's done a lot of voting against Trump in the last few months. And I didn't expect Rand Paul to really have problems with what Trump was doing. I haven't had time to read the thousands of pages of bills, but I would expect him to come forth and be very articulate as to why he wouldn't be in favor of a lot of the things that you're seeing with Doge and such. Now, mind you, wasn't there a person here lately that, no, it was just John Roberts, and he's winning FOIA requests for everything Doge. Did you see that?
But I heard people talking about it, but I didn't see anything. Did you find something about that I can bring up?
It's in the list.
Oh, it is? Okay, let me go back over to our shit show chat, and I'll look through it real quick. So just give me a second.
Yeah.
Got it open. And what was it called about who was it?
Justice John Roberts is talking about
John Roberts.
getting a FOIA request. He wants to know everything going on about this. I mean, that guy is more compromised. He's more compromised than Kash Patel and Pam Bondi.
And you said you put that in here?
Yep. Shit show chat.
I'm looking. Let's see. Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth. Oh, here he is. Okay. Let me get this opened up and I will share it with everyone. Yeah, this is interesting.
About my interruption earlier.
It's all right. I haven't seen this. So give me 1 second. I'm going to present it. I'll let you talk about it. So do you know that much about it?
As much as you do.
Okay, well, here you go. I'll let you talk about it because I haven't seen it. I didn't even know about it until you brought it up.
Well, this is a breaking story, and it comes from the Gateway Pundit. Get you the link here. And
yeah, I'll share it in the chat real quick so other people can go look.
Okay. Oh. There we go. It's in the private chat, so you can just go cut and paste, snip, and there we go. So the U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts on Friday temporarily halted orders requiring Doge to comply with FOIA requests and other discovery. In March, a federal judge said Doge is wielding unprecedented power and ordered the release of the operations records. U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper said the vast and unprecedented authority of Doge, formerly known as the U.S. Digital Service, combined with its unusual secrecy, warrant the urgent release of its internal documents under the Freedom of Information Act, Politico previously reported, link within the story. Watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington filled 3 Freedom of Information requests, FOIAs, with the OMB and the Doge seeking documents. In March, U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper, an Obama appointee, agreed with the plaintiff suing Doge and said Musk's operation is covered by FOIA. Roberts issued a temporary administrative stay of 2 of the orders. CBS News reported. ICBS. Chief Justice John Roberts temporarily halted Friday lower court orders that required the White House Department of Government Efficiency to turn over information to a government watchdog group as part of a lawsuit that tests whether President Trump's cost-cutting task force has to comply with federal public records law. Roberts issued a temporary administrative stay of 2 orders entered by a federal district court in Washington, D.C., which directed Doge to turn over records related to its operations and personnel and required its acting administrator, Amy Gleason, to sit for a deposition. The Chief Justice's order allows the Supreme Court more time to consider the Trump administration's request for emergency relief, which was filed with the High Court earlier this week. Deadline set by the district judge required Doge to turn over documents by 3 June 25 and for Gleason's deposition to be completed by 13 June 25. Film at 11.
Wow, that's kind of I don't know.
I don't like these judges kind of getting in the way of what we voted for. You know, I know it sucks losing your entire nest egg of ill-gotten gains there, deep state, but really you weren't supposed to get a hold of that taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm. And what's up with this creepiness right here? Look at this and that. I mean, it's like,
what are you thinking to make those ads pop up? Because those are generated by an algorithm that's on your PC.
I know. Why? What does yours look like?
Hold on.
Now, remember, I opened this from the shit show chat. So somebody in the shit show chat is looking at feet or something.
All right. I've got mine opened up.
Yeah. What does yours look like? Does it have feet?
It's pretty blank. I have the Israeli embassy assassination, where we talk about an idiot screaming "Free Palestine" who kills 2 Jewish people
This one?
of the Messianic faith.
Oh, I have to stop the other one first and then bring yours up. There you go.
Yeah. The guy was screaming "Free Palestine," and the people he targeted were 2 Messianic Jews. Christians. That's what they fucking were. They were Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Messianic Jews believe in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only ad on here. Oh,
yep.
Pro-Trump News, Gateway Hispanic, American Gulag, the TGPvideos.com, and The Truth.
That's weird.
Yep. I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm not looking at feet, but what was creepy about it is because people are always asking me if I'm going to start an OnlyFans with my feet.
Why, Janet? Why every time you say something that's just wholesomer, it means...
Oh, it's just weird as shit, man. I'm telling you. I don't know. I have no idea why feet were up there, because that was creepy. But all right, well, here's the next one I'll bring up. This was interesting, I thought. And I like this guy too. This Senator Johnson guy. I like his the way he presents himself. When I was doing some of the live streams,
Hardwick says I use uBlock Origin and get very few ads anywhere as a result. The uBlock Origin pretty good. The Brave browser is pretty good. The Opera browser really good. I'm very surprised at Opera.
But the thing is, when I got Blaze, is it Blaze? Is that what it's called? Brave. I got Brave. And then when I tried to move all my stuff for my streaming stuff, nothing would work properly on Brave. So I had to go back to using my whatever.
I would have stuck with Brave and just established dominance with Brave.
Well, all I know is that I couldn't hardly get none of my streaming stuff to work. So I went back to this one, even though I still have Brave. Like when I join you, sometimes when you send me a link, that's when it pops up. So I'll use that for that. But it's not me doing my software. It's yours. See what I mean?
Yes.
So I didn't have any problems with it. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. But this I thought was a pretty interesting, this whole thing. So I wanted to play it for you. It's about the risks of the COVID-19 vaccination far outweigh any, other benefits. So I wanted to show you this whole thing with this interview and the questions and stuff that were asked. I thought was interesting.
You've asked for us to cite evidence. 3 papers by Nathaniel Mead, who's in the audience today, a former National Institutes of Health writer. 3 of them that contain nearly 1,000 references. So they're all there in these papers, have concluded that the risks of COVID-19 vaccination far outweigh any theoretical benefits. We've heard countless wishful thoughts from Senator Blumenthal and from Governor Green, Dr. Green, but they're wishful. They wish the vaccines would have saved lives. They wish the vaccines would have reduced severity. I can tell you, because you know this, I was one of the few doctors who was on the real front lines of treating acutely sick patients at home. That's how we reduced risk of death, not via a vaccine. The marathon runner, he passed away because he didn't receive effective early multi-drug treatment. It didn't matter whether he took a vaccine or not. Our CDC knew about thousands of patients fully vaccinated early in 2021 dying of acute COVID-19. It was abundantly obvious the COVID-19 vaccines did not reduce the risk of death. I don't want America to be fooled by this hearing today, thinking that the vaccines save lives, because they didn't.
There, I wanted to share that way because, see, every single day, more and more and more information is coming out, but it's coming out in drips. See, so it's not going to be this big explosion and a bunch of people's eyes are open. Okay, because most of the people that believe one thing or another or slowly evolve to believing something already believe in it. You see what I mean? So this trickle here and there, the people that don't believe in anything that's coming out aren't going to believe a trickle. See what I mean? So it's not going to sway the people. Like everybody said, what was it? They constantly said stuff like, well, once everybody's woke up, you know, or their eyes are open, then they'll understand, then we'll be able to do this, that, and the other. Well, that's never going to happen because the way it's trickling out, not everybody's going to see it. You know what I mean? It's so funny because Sandy and I, we talk a lot. We talk on the phone. We talk about lots of different things. And Jennifer sometimes, you know, she'll chime in depending on what's going on with her kids or whatever else. So depending on what's going on in your life, I guess, is how much time you have to do other things, you know, to research or look into things or whatever else. And then other times you have people that just say, well, you know, I'm not interested in knowing about that. Or they're on different apps than you are, so they don't get the same stream of information coming in or whatever. And, you know, like a person who spends all their day on TikTok is going to see lots of funny videos with kitties and puppy dogs and people falling down, you know, things like that, and laugh a lot, but they're not going to get the information that we've been getting off of X or even off of Rumble, you know, things like that. So depending on where you're getting your information is what information you're getting, you see, on whether or not they're going to spend the time to look into it. See, because I have two sisters that aren't on any of this stuff. And, you know, when I share stuff in our sister chat, like on our phone, you know, I have my four sisters are on there and we share things that is going on around us or something we think is important. And a lot of them are like, where did you find that? I never heard of that. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm shocked because, you know, you'd think that they would be just as informed as you, but you'll really be shocked if you actually got to sit down and talk to some people, your own family members, on how much they don't know. That's why I like to share some of the links and I like that I have a lot of people in the chat and stuff that's, hey, check this out, or did you see this? Or they send me stuff too, you know what I mean? And I think that's great because I want to see as much as I can. And I was in a space the other day talking about some of the stuff with the Diddy case. And I was asking questions in there. Did you hear about this supposedly Prince sound bite or whatever that came out, supposedly him confessing stuff that he saw or whatever, or knew about Diddy and what had happened and stuff. And I was talking about it, and then some of the people in the room were saying, well, I haven't heard anything about that. Let's look into it. And they were all like looking up stuff, trying to see if they could find it. And they were all like, as far as I know, it hasn't been in court. so then I was trying to find out where can I get like transcripts from each day of the trial and things like that.
There's some new information on this Diddy case. I just saw it pop up today on my Twitter feed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it about the young rapper whose car was car bombed?
Yep.
Or whatever, firebombed? Yeah, because he just testified in court about that. But the thing I was asking about was the Prince stuff. Supposedly Prince and Wendy Williams or whatever, their testimony or whatever. Even though Prince died, his was supposed to be an audio confessions or whatever, talking about, and other documents or something that he had that supposedly left to 3 people to make sure it got to the right people because he wasn't brave enough to do it while he was alive, this kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, that's some shocking stuff. How come nobody's talking about it? That type of thing. So that's why I brought it up in Spaces, because some of these people I've been talking to since Spaces started. Is that what, almost 5 years now or something? It's close to that. So, I trust them, these people, because, I've been talking to them for a long time. And, they were like, I can't find anything about it. So then I said, well, then I'm not going to share any of that stuff on, any of my shows or anything, because I couldn't prove that it was actually in court. Now, when I've gone and listened to Cassie's testimony and stuff like that, it was on court TV. So, they're talking about the case each day after the trial, they left for the day or whatever. So I knew it was on that day, what was they talked about. And, but I was trying to find out where I can get, like some, the transcripts of what happened at each day. So that I'm still looking to see if I can find a good link for that. That would be very interesting, because I really do believe that if they can take Diddy down for, traffic, someone over state lines, and a few these other criminal aspects behind it, using it for blackmail and intimidation and stuff like that, that this is going to open a door for precedent for what they can do when it comes to the Epstein stuff, because that's a way bigger enterprise, multiple countries of people involved in it and stuff. And, I don't know for sure exactly how many, people are involved in any of the Diddy stuff. I've only heard a few names involved in some of the stuff that's going on, but it was mostly based around Cassie, that one girlfriend he had for like 10 years or something like that. So I don't know. All I know is that so far, the testimony that I've heard and the stuff they've talked about on court TV, it makes me believe that, yeah, they've got a lot of evidence against him for the crimes that he's being tried on. So hopefully we'll see if it opens any doors for something bigger, because it's going to be huge whenever they do start prosecuting people had to do with, the islands and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see what happens. But, I'm trying, because I'm not a pro, just like, you're not either. We're just people that like YouTube or whatever and like playing games. And it all started out because you and I wanted to do movie reviews together, and I would get to dress up in characters or a theme of whatever it is we're going to talk about. And I love doing that. I think it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I got to do it and got paid to do it, for a long time. And I enjoy that. So, and I love going to Comic-Cons. I was looking at some posters today about another Arkansas Con that's coming. And I was like, gosh, there's just not anybody on this list that I'm interested in getting dressed up and going to see, to get autographs or anything so far. So I'm gonna have to look into it, get on the website and look. But I was looking at the posters and I was like, because when I saw the other poster and I had William Shatner on, I was like, I'm going. So it was real easy. And then I had Christopher Lloyd on there, and there was a couple other good names last year. So this year I wasn't too impressed so far. But have you got a con coming up anywhere near you?
The only con I want to go to is Reaper Con, and that's up in that DFW area.
And what is it about? I mean,
miniatures.
Oh, miniatures. Okay.
Miniatures. It's nothing but miniatures, Janet. This is like my bread and butter. I don't know what y'all like to do. You get the idea that I like miniatures. I'm sharing you the page.
Bring it up here.
This
Reaper. Okay, because when it said Reaper, I was thinking scary, like the death. So that means horror type of thing. So that's what I was thinking.
So here's, they show you the ReaperCon painting, gaming, and geek culture. August 27th through 31st. Haven't decided if I'm going to it yet. Would like to have a house first. However, that also sounds like a lot of fun to go to because I would get the chance to rub shoulders with people that do the molds and people that do the website adverts. But here's the dates from Wednesday, August 27th through 25th, 6 to 10. And then it's 9 a.m. to 11:45 every night. And there's plenty of tabletop stuff, games, all sorts of things. And this is just one of the things that we've got here in Texas. This is why I like Reaper, because they've always done good materials. They always have good miniatures. And it's a 4-day con celebrating hobbies of miniatures and miniature painting. It's put on by Reapers, one of the world's largest independent miniature manufacturers. They're not owned by Hasbro or GW. They do their own thing. Sometimes it sucks, like their games suck, but their miniatures are good. And the highlights is they have the Master Series Paints Open Painting Competition. So everybody goes and they try to win a Sophie trophy. Sophie is the succubus that is their standard or their icon over the past.
So are you going to do that? You going to enter to sit there and paint?
I've actually been working on this guy, and I've got most of them within like 3-4 hours. I've gotten this ogre done. But they've started doing. They started bringing back factions because, like, sometimes back in the day they had their own war game, and all the war bands had their own faction. Like, here's the goblins, here's the goatmen, here's the vampires, here's this. Here's that. Here's the demons. Here's the bad dwarves. Here's the dwarves. And so they're going back into factions and talking about, like, they got new vampires of Solon Hall, and then they got the ghosts of Gallowguard, and the Knights of King's Lear. And it's just a neat little company. I like these guys. Are they woke? Probably very woke. But do they make a very good product? Absolutely.
Why do you think they're woke?
I went to their Discord once, and it was filled with communists. I'm not a big fan of communists.
Yeah, but just because their Discord we don't know who's running it. See what I mean?
Yeah. Right now, this is the figure of the month. If you buy $40 or more from Reaper, they send you one of these free ogres, and they add it to your shopping cart automatically. The more you buy from Reaper, the more they give you in free stuff. That's all I'm going to say. I've gotten so many refills of paints or miniatures that I liked from before. These figures are good. And the only thing is that the new series, this is, I believe, a Bones USA that they've got. You have to wash it first with a toothbrush and a little bit of warm water, and then the paint sticks to it a lot easier. But that's the con I want to go to. Send me to the Geek Con. That's what I want.
Yeah, that looks like I've never seen anything like it. I didn't even know they did that.
Janet.
I mean, I didn't know they had a con just with miniatures. I just had no idea. You know what I mean? So I think it's awesome, and I think you should go. I think you should go, and I think you should go. And
if we're in better shape than what we are right now, then absolutely, I'll go there.
Okay, well, don't. I'm just saying, don't dismiss it. Give yourself some time, because it's not until August, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just give yourself another month and see what happens. But I think you'll have a great time. That sounds kind of cool. Yeah. But this article I thought was so freaking interesting, because we're always talking about politicians and actors and singers and all these different crimes. But here we go. We actually have a retired 4-star admiral, Robert Burke, convicted in bribery scheme. And so I think it's great. And I'm going to share this. Let me really quickly. Let me get the link real fast before we read this, because I want to put this in the chat so people can go check it out themselves. And I'm not saying I'm happy to see the military go down or anything like that. But the thing is, if you have people that are corrupt, criminals, okay, using their position to get away with doing things that could hurt other people, like our soldiers, for one, and he's owes money to people or whatever, so he's willing to let a few soldiers die or a helicopter go down or whatever for extra money. You see what I mean? Stuff like that. That's why he's compromised, and I wouldn't want him out there doing stuff or influencing young soldiers to do certain things if he's corrupt. See what I mean? So I like seeing, I don't care who they are. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. I don't care what their what they do for a living or what their religion is or anything. If they're a criminal, I want to see them punished for it. And I'd like to see more of this, but I didn't hear any of this on the news. This has happened to come across my timeline like it's someone else that, because I follow a lot of veterans and stuff, came across my timeline. It's the only reason I saw it. So, it's just nice to know that stuff like this is, people like this are still getting arrested and stuff. It says a jury on Monday convicted a retired 4-star admiral who served in the U.S. Navy's second highest ranking officer on corruption charges for steering contracts to a company in exchange for a lucrative job. See what I mean? That is so sad that we have somebody that would do that.
On this shit. Read all the agreements he made to twist military industrial complex into a pretzel so he could double dip. Not only was he retired and making a mint off of you and me because he was a 4-star fucking admiral.
Yeah.
But the guy was like seriously making massive financial waves with various projects and okaying certain things and then going behind people's backs and talking with developers about certain things so he could get little money from here and there. He's really studied hard at the Joe Biden School of Corruption.
And what's sad is his family, like his wife or his family, his kids or whatever, probably didn't even know anything about it because he was living a simple life. He probably had girlfriends or boyfriends, and he was, who knows what else he was doing, wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, telling his wife he's going to a convention or something and then going and picking up prostitutes or who knows what. I mean, see, I'm just making this up because I don't have a clue, but I'm just trying to think of what could be out there in a person's life that supposedly dedicated his whole life to the military in the service of others, basically, is what, like when people take certain types of jobs. And then all of a sudden, because now he's corrupt for some reason, somebody had something on him to cause him, hey, here's some money. If you do this one thing for me, I'll do this for you. That's
probably what you're talking about is exactly what happened. He didn't approve something, or he wasn't going to make sure somebody else got a sweet, lucrative deal. And so they're just like, Doge, guess what I found? I found a guy who's really high up, one of America's war fighters. He's bad. He's going to do stuff. And I'm pretty certain that this is kind of like the equivalent of like the gay guy that, gets short shifted. He said he was going to divorce his wife and just be with me. And now here we are. And I'm just filing a small police report and giving him this USB drive from my camera so they can see that I got this guy in a compromising position. I'm very certain that this had something very much like that, because that's how the article reads.
This part right here, it says investigators allege Burke, Kim, and Messenger began communicating about a new contract for the perks at work.
Yep.
company in 2021, years after the Navy officially cut ties with the corporation. Okay, but the thing is, they're using WhatsApp. Okay, remember what I told you? Everyone I know, a bunch of people, oh, WhatsApp, this, that, and blah, blah, blah. Here's my WhatsApp number. You know, do you have WhatsApp? And I'm like, no. Well, why not? And I go, because the only people I know that use WhatsApp are thieves or people that are trying to steal something from you. See what I mean? Because my personal industry, when I'm in the entertainment industry, the only people that would ever try to get me to go to WhatsApp were people that I've known rip off other people. You know what I mean? So it was a, thing that went around that said, don't use WhatsApp if you don't want, don't use your real information. Don't give your real anything.
I do like the idea of WhatsApp. I'm not going to say I don't like it. The idea of a peer-to-peer, totally safe and secure system sounds wonderful.
Yeah,
the reality is it's not peer-to-peer. There's stuff that gets hung up in the internet places, and you're not going to convince me that WhatsApp is completely safe after fucking Facebook bought it.
Yeah, it says here, in exchange, they offered Burke a job at a company, at company A, whatever that the one that we're talking about earlier, at a salary of at least $500,000 per year and a grant of 100,000 stock options. Wow. See, it's really sad that most people, I guess, really do have a price. I don't know.
I mean, Janet, I have a price for $4 million. I'd pretty much give away secrets for septic work or things for $4 million. Yeah, I'll give away some knowledge about pH and how many worms to add to the bedding for every square cubic foot. I think everybody has a price. I just think that what you do is that you set your price so unbearably high that it injures the person trying to bereft or steal some level of dignity that you have, to where it doesn't matter what they say. You're on your own fucking island. You're having a pina colada, and you're not going to get fucked with because you gave it up. You're like, I'm done. I'm not going to be a Texan anymore. I'm going to Aruba, or I'm going to somewhere. There's nothing but my toes in the sand, and there's a tiki bar with my Yingling waiting on me, and that's going to be my life for the next 40 years. Should I live to the age of 90? And it won't happen. I think everybody has a price, and I think this guy here, he just set his price excessively low. He thought he was doing good. I'm making over 6 digits a year. I still live in the Washington area. I have all my influence. I can go into any bar I want to, and my guys know me. They're going to buy me a beer. They're going to buy me my favorite fucking Blue Label Johnny Walker, blah, blah, blah. And I think this guy just was comfy. He got so comfortable, he was able to get sloppy, and that's where we are today.
Oh, there you go. I just read this. It says the problem at Facebook. So the same guy that was suppressing people and kicking people off of Facebook because the Biden administration told them, you either do this, that, and the other, or you're not going to be up or whatever. And so I don't trust them.
No, I don't. I really did like WhatsApp back before Zuckerberg got a hold of it. But that's the problem. Now Zuckerberg owns it, and so everything that you've got on your WhatsApp, now Zuckerberg can conceivably open his hard drive and be like, let's find out what Bruce has. Let's see if
I see the same thing on X. Okay, I've had people say, let's do this, let's do that. You send me a picture, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm not sending pictures on here. And they're like, why not? And I go, I don't trust this app. I don't trust X. I trust X to send personal information. I don't do it on LinkedIn. The only way I would ever send anyone my personal stuff is I'd feel more comfortable sending it over the phone, like through a text message, that kind of thing. That's about it. I just don't. And I would, I tell people all the time, don't share personal information online. If you got someone that says, meet me on WhatsApp, blah, blah, and then you get over there and then they start selling. I mean, I've done this a couple of times. Sandy and I would do it. We'd tag team a few people because we knew there were scammers right off the bat from certain things because they were trying to say they were like Keanu Reeves or, some other people, which I knew they weren't. But it's just funny how much they think people are stupid. I mean, they really think people, because there are stupid people that will give them money.
Yep.
When you have someone that says they're Keanu Reeves, I'll just use this as an example, and that they're on a shoot. Let's say they're saying they're in Africa or they're in the jungle of down in South America or whatever, okay? And they don't have very good electricity. They only have a limited crew, all this different stuff. And then they say, well, we're having trouble right now. My card won't work. Can you send me some cash? Can you Western use me money and then I'll pay you back? That kind of shit. And people do it. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand why anyone would think that Keanu Reeves would ask a lowly person they never met on the internet for money. And they think, oh, it's really him. Well, why would you think that?
It's got his picture in the profile photo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. So I tell people, please don't give your personal information. If you're talking to someone and you build a rapport and you become friends over time, and then you slowly get to know each other, that's totally different. But a person you just met and you've only talked to them twice on the internet, and then you're giving them your address or your phone number, I just don't understand why people would do that.
The thing I just had to do, I had to go disable the call feature on X because somebody tried calling me in the middle of the stream, and I went and looked at the photo and the profile. It's some aging 65 or 70-year-old lady wanted to talk to me about what Doge can do for me, what the Dogecoin can do for Bruce. And I'm like, let me disable this bullshit feature.
Yeah, it's just so much stuff out there. I mean, really.
Hardwick wants to know about your views on Telegram.
Yeah, I nodded my head and said, yeah, I feel they're similar. I feel the same way about it. I don't trust any of these. That's like I said, I would feel safer on I feel safer on Discord than I do on X. Okay, I hate to say that, but I've been on Discord for many years and I've never had any problems, but I like it because my little channel on Discord is only people I invite there. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a person on there and then someone tells me, hey, this guy is asking weird questions, or they send me a DM and tell me that something's not right with this person, I'll ask that person, did you ask someone for money or did you? And they'll say, yeah. Then I just go delete, get rid of them. I just kick them out.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to do that on my Discord. I just one day I tried logging in and somebody had hacked that. Somebody had hacked my Hotmail account.
Well, being hacked is totally different because that's all done through what is that? Is it the X's and O's or ones and zeros or something?
No idea.
Code, someone who knows that kind of stuff. They could pretty much hack into anybody. I don't care who you are. Your phone.
With the new stuff with the quantum computing and AI, the password features are going to have to really develop at a super accelerated rate, because what we have now for password protection, a quantum computer can unravel it and get that person through that barrier of entry.
Yeah, I believe that. That's why I said it. Now, nothing is completely 100% safe. Unless you and your friend, whoever you meet, and you guys go way out in the middle of the woods and no one knows you're out there.
Without your phones on you.
Yeah, without your phones, without nothing. You just go hiking with what you're wearing. That's it. With your water or whatever. And you go out there and you talk. You might be safe unless someone knew you were going to meet with each other, going to go walking, and they follow you with a drone and they're listening in on you or something. If you're that important, they're going to do that. Well, guess what? good luck. That's all I can say. But the thing is, if you build a rapport with someone over time and then you feel comfortable enough giving them your phone number and you meet in person and stuff like that, over time, then, you build a trust. You build a trust with people. But a person you never met, online.
Do you remember the first time we talked?
Yeah.
Okay. Not on here, on phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is that because I'd seen you in the chat on the Dix division and all that stuff, that's the only reason I even did part of the stuff that I did. It's because I'd seen you and I knew that other people knew you, right? And I'd seen you for a couple years off and on here and there. So I had a little more trust for you than I would somebody I just met on the internet that I've never spoke to. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you've gone to enough of the Friday night shows on different channels, and then Doomcock, and then just some of the other people that we similarly
there was
back and forth to.
There was a point in my algorithm back in 2017 where I really had a chance to quote unquote rocket up in popularity, and that's because there was a guy by the name of author Stephen Walton, and he had written a book about the Phantom Menace, and he had a video that got like super promoted where he was talking to Gary from Geeks and Gamers, I think.
Yeah.
And they put they put me and Bionic Belly Button up on the photos, and
I haven't seen her in forever.
I don't know what happened to her. I hope she's well. I heard she was military, but she's, a flawed human like the rest of us. So I can only assume like things happened and they probably weren't the best, because everybody had everybody's got a story from what happened in 2020. At some point, the curse of 2020 hit them, like my curse hit in September. Of 21 when I went to the hospital for fucking weeks, and I don't know what happened to everybody else, but grumpy old ninja's correct. Steven really chose poorly. He started making a lot of noise about this book he was writing, and he wrote a book, and then he tried writing a sequel to continue to capitalize on it. The guy that wrote for Green Lantern Comics, he also wrote Cyberfrog, Ethan. He kind of busted out a serious critical opinion about Stephen Walton, and a large chunk of the fan base was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Not Gary, Jeremy Hardwick. I apologize. I haven't been in.
Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Jeremy
Yeah.
from Geeks and Gamers was on there. Was the host, and he had author Stephen Walton on there, because this was when like everybody was starting to come like to the forefront. Like you had Anna, that Star Wars girl, and she hadn't revealed that she's a whore yet. And then you had some other people come out, and they were starting to get big. Gary started getting traction after Doomcock started getting traction, and then Gary really surpassed Doomcock in 2019, I think. And it was really just kind of interesting. Anna fell off. She's got her own group of people, but I didn't have a problem with Stephen Walton. I've had him on my channel a few times. I've hung out with him a lot, and I really like him as a person. I just don't think he has the fire in the belly to do the book the justice that he really should approach it with. And that's my personal opinion of his professionalism.
Yeah.
Anna's good. She's a mom now. Well, that's good, because for a while there, like, she popped up on the Whatever podcast. No, I'm referring to her conduct on the Whatever podcast. I watched that not for Anna, but for the others that were on there, because there were some other interesting creators of note that they were really bad. But Anna said something where she didn't want to reveal her age, and immediately all the other females on the panel were like, we're not going to talk about her age. We'll talk about all of our sexual partners. But That was like, and then Anna was like hanging out with people that like I wouldn't want my girlfriend to hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to find something real quick. I'm looking real fast. So give me just a second.
I'm not a fan of whatever. I like the fact that the guy from the Crucible is on there quite a bit, and he makes it interesting. He's a very good intellectual, and oddly enough, he's also a crayon eating fucking USMC guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're so
and got
funny.
distracted. Yeah, I agree, Grumpy. She shouldn't have gone on that show. But the way that she portrayed herself on there and the way that she was fraternizing with people that probably she should have not hung out with. I'm just saying, like, the company you keep really does define a lot of things about you. And then I just, whatever. Oh, what's that guy from the Crucible?
I
Anyway.
thought that I could find something on there, but I don't know how to. Just don't know how to find it.
I had a negative opinion about Anna when I was still streaming with Machini 2.5, 3 years ago. And her artwork is good, but I think she's still at like an intermediate level. She's not a beginner, but she's definitely not like Ethan, or she's not like the pros. She's got what it takes to where she could get further and she could really do something with it. And I hope that she does, because she's pretty creative. Maybe one of these days she'll write out a script like what Grumpy's doing, and she'll capitalize on it for the fact she's got boobs. Sorry, Grumpy, you don't have boobs. Andrew Wilson is the guy I like, and I like his wife, Rachel. She's a firebrand, but not a big fan of whatever.
Trying to figure out how to send something, because I have a video on my phone.
What are you trying to do?
That I want to send. I'm going to try to send it to my shit show chat, but or X.
Copy the link and drop it in shit show chat.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop it in on X real quick, and I'm gonna see if I can play it from there, because this video was great. I just absolutely loved it. It made me feel so good when I got it.
Grumpy, is Anna a real artist with pen, or does she do more digital? I haven't followed her since 2018, 2019. There was something that happened with her and Drunk 3PO where they stopped hanging out so much. And then Drunk 3PO started hanging out with one of the other girls that looked a lot like replacement Anna. And all the guys go crazy over, because it's just like the same thing. So here's a short woman. Here's a short, perky woman. I guess everybody has a type.
Well, I was hanging out with, watching a lot of Drunk 3PO stuff when he was doing a lot of Gina Carano stuff.
Gina Carano and Drunk was good. That
we had little tiny groups of us, and we all got to ask her questions, and they'd be having a few drinks, and it was just fun. We had a really good time. But I sent one of them. I'm gonna open it real quick. So give me a second, and then I'm gonna play something for you.
Anna, I didn't know Anna had her head caved in. I was there in the group of creators that was watching when you had Doomcock and Jeremy and Gary, and like it was a super friends of our people. But then Anna's sister went missing, and that entire debacle, like, good God. That was when I stopped watching Anna, because I just, like, no matter what, she had a tragedy happen. So we're not going to see the real Anna. Like, you're going to see somebody who's in grief mode, but it takes a while to get over grief. And I just, like, that was the main thing.
Well, I want to share this video that I took of a live stream, because I was watching Geeks and Gamers. I've liked Geeks and Gamers for a long time. My first show that I ever watched was Doomcock and Gary. Nerdrotic, and they were doing the Inquisition. So I've been watching them for a long time, and I loved the Inquisition. I laughed my ass off. I just absolutely loved them. I fell in love with Gary and Doomcock after that. And then I started watching, that's when I met Eric and other people in the chat. And that's when I met, damn it, now I can't remember. Why do I do that? But I met a bunch of these people. So I started going to all their different channels and supporting them because they made me laugh and stuff. They're the ones that inspired me to maybe one day do something, on YouTube. I was already doing, TikTok videos and making shorts and send them to my friends and make stupid shorts, stuff like that. And I was already going to cons and things like that. But I want to share this right here, this little thing that I did, because there was like 357 of us in the chat, as you can see from this. And this was me videotaping them, and they're traveling. And it's drunk 3POs in the back seat. And then you've got Jeremy driving. And I just want you guys to watch this. It's funny.
From another planet, Jeremy dropped off my awesome gift for me. That's so cool. I put it inside. I can't wait to go home. I'll take a picture of it and post it. That was so fucking cool of you to do those. Yes. It's amazing. It looks incredible. It does look cool. I was like, what the heck? I thought Jeremy made it. And I was like, were you bringing that to Ryan? Like, that's so nice of you. So I would need to put on. Never mind. I would be wearing this type of jacket if that's what it was a nice picture for him. But yeah, she did one for me, gamers. She said she was gonna do it for D-Day Cobra. She did say she didn't want to do one for Drunk 3PO. I don't know why, but that's just what she did. I wasn't supposed to repeat that. So I can't wait. It was cool. Like hanging up on your wall, like it was Ryan. Basically, it was like Ryan's logo. Yeah. From another planet.
Okay, well, I'll stop that now. But it was what it was is I made all of them a logo for their channels, like I do the Rhinestone logos. And then later when Ryan got his, and he got to go back, like he said, when he goes back, he was going to make it a thing. And he did. He made a video, and I got that, and I would play that one too. But he loved his his RK Outpost logo that I made for him. And I hand wrote letters, and I sent it to all of them and told them how wonderful things were for me, because during COVID, I didn't watch television. I started watching all these YouTubers, and I enjoyed it. It made me happy to watch them. They made me laugh. And they were just a great bunch of guys, and they were all nerds. And I just thought, wow, if I could ever meet all these people in person, it would be like awesomeness, And that's when I saw you because that's how I met, Dick's, the Dick's Division group of guys in the chat because of comics division. And I started following his channel. And then I started following Culture Casino, and bunches of them.
That's who I actually want to watch more of, because I catch his stuff at like noon on the way home.
Mm-hmm. He's a great person. He's really funny, and he's smart. There's just so many fun people that I've met on YouTube, and I'm glad that I fell into a good group of people, because I've been friends. That's how I met Ruben, because when I did a live stream, I'm trying to remember, Popcorn Channel or something. I don't know, Popcorn Planet or whatever. Mm-hmm. I went and did a couple live streams, and that's how I met Ruben. And I got mad at the one show I was on. I don't remember what show it was for sure. I don't want to say anybody's name or anything. And I thought they were mean to him. To Ruben. So when we were backstage and I got a chance to talk to him by ourselves, I just told him, I said, don't you let people be mean to you and that kind of stuff. And we just started talking. So that's how we became friends. And then I got to see his whole journey where he was in a wheelchair. He couldn't do anything, that much stuff. And then get to see him go to that con and get to go to a meet and greet with Gary and all them there, and get out of his chair and walk around. And we was like really shocked to see him, because he was able to get up, do stuff. So, I've been friends with him for a while, and I dislike him, and that's why I couldn't understand why people were so mean to him. Because I go, this guy is a nice guy, and he's really smart. And he was one of the first people I thought about asking him to be on my show. You know, you and him basically were the two I really wanted on my show, because you were two of my closest friends, really, that I've made since I've been on my YouTube journey, whatever type thing. And I just really like him, and I'm glad you're liking him. That you've gotten a chance to get to know him on a more personal level. And I really like that, but the thing is, you're one of those people too that are very accepting, but you don't put up with no shit. You know what I mean? If someone's a dick or an ass or a full of shit, whatever, you're going to tell them, fuck you. I don't need you around. That's one reason why I really like you as my friend, because I know you're not going to put up with no crap. You're not going to let somebody just roll over you. You know what I mean? You're not going to be steamrolled by somebody, because you can see someone who's sloshing shit from a mile away. And I feel like I have a sense of that too, that I can kind of tell when someone's full of shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just seem like some people have it and some people don't. You look at somebody and you're like, they're telling you a story of something that happened to them, and you're like, what the fuck? How did they let? How come they're that dumb? You just don't. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, but and that's how I am. Do what?
That there's some people that you just hear them talk and you're like, oh God, why are you trying to convince me of this thing that I know did not happen?
Yeah.
Like we just talked about in the chat, actually. I can say with full authority that here before the end of this month, Kathleen Kennedy will now be out of a job at the Magic Kingdom, and she will soon have to find herself on the acting gigs again. Imagine that. A talentless actress in Hollywood. Whatever will happen?
Oh, don't worry about it, Doomcock.
If only Doomcock could drop the Kathleen Kennedy hate. We all hate Kathleen Kennedy, but I just it's easier for me to say, fuck you, Star Wars. I have my memories of Star Wars. I had the D6 RPG, which was probably the greatest RPG of all time. And it was a lot of fun. It was set between The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars, and you could run the game as cyberpunk or as futuristic, or the world was your oyster. The galaxy is your oyster. The D6 Star Wars system was amazing. It had a good set of source books for it. I had a stack of them. I think I was only shy 2 or 3 by the time it ceased publication. And I was looking for the fanzines, which was how deep I was in it. But I just kind of got out of it, because what happened in 1999 with that miserable fucking prequel movie, and I didn't like it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna shelve this for a bit. And a friend of mine says, I'll buy all that off you for $600. Dude, West End Star Wars was amazing, and I had all that stuff. A lot of it's committed to memory, a lot of it's committed to hard drive. But it was a good system, and people that play it talk mad about it. Even more importantly, the game lends itself to miniatures. And I know that sounds like, oh, Bruce, you're being a basic bitch. No, trust me here. Star Wars D6 is a great miniatures game. There's even a miniature skirmish setup for rules. It was good.
So I'm posting a couple things so I can share them.
So Hardwick says, for me, the worst part about Doomcock is when he started claiming that Disney executives are watching my streams and they actually copied some things from my show and put it in the She-Hulk finale. I mean, that was when I was like, come on, DC, don't be doing this, man. Even if it's true, don't say this.
Yeah, but you know what? See, that's one of the things I can definitely say. From a lot of the people that I followed on here and watching them from a small channel grow to like 300,000, or more. subscribers, and seeing them not really change. You know what I mean? They're still say the same shit. They still act the same. They're just as goofy as they were the first time I watched them. And that's what I love about them. You know what I mean? I love them that they are just them. And
Doomcock won't change. He's never going to change. I mean,
I like Doomcock too.
I wouldn't say he's a treasure, but I would say he's entertaining. And that's where I stand with Doomcock. I don't prefer him over any G&G people. They're all kind of in that same mess of like, these people are much more good at this game of YouTube than I am. But I'm not really upset about that. I hope they succeed. If you want to do YouTube all your life, that's great. And I know this sounds really like, Bruce, you are in the skids. No, I'm not. I'm tied in with a network of people that actually like me quite a bit. We had a situation today where one of my trucks broke down with me in it. It derated. It coasted to a 3 mile per hour trip over like 2 hours, and I finally the truck just died. So I'm there on WW White Road. My buddy, he's on vacation. He's my boss. He's in Hawaii. I'm not going to call him. He's 6 hours away. As I'm waiting for a tow truck, which I'm going to pay out of my own pocket, here comes his business partner, and he's like, "Reese, what you doing?" I'm like, "Waiting on a tow truck." Tow truck? Does Jeremy know? Absolutely not. What the fuck? I'm like, it's fucking 4 a.m. and I want him to enjoy his vacation. I can handle this. I'll get him a receipt. If he doesn't want to pay me back, it's my bad. But I'd rather handle this myself because I didn't trust. I trusted the mechanic saying it's all good. Wait, this was a truck being worked on yesterday. Yeah, it was a truck being worked on yesterday. So we had this entire big fucking drama about this stupid truck. I got it towed back for $600. And if I get the money back, that's great. If I don't get the money back, that's fine too. But I think he's going to pay me the money from what he says. And I trust this guy with my life. But his business partner's like, dude, if Jeremy can't afford it, I know he just paid $3,000 for mechanic work on this truck this week. If he can't get it, let me know. I'll get you the money. I'm like, I wouldn't tell you that, even if he did or didn't. He's like, what? I'm like, I like you guys, and I want to stay employed. So if I got to eat $600 to keep this job, I'll eat the $600. I'm good. He's like, you don't make that much money. I'm like, I'm doing okay. Keep in mind, my bills are still like at $2,800 a month, and I make more than $2,800 a month now. So I'm happy. I'm not driving for that loser that I was working for at Legend Plumbing and Septic.
Yeah.
So
Can I share something else?
Go ahead.
Real quick.
I didn't mean to talk about my job. Sorry, guys. Okay. Didn't mean to bore you about composting and septic work.
But I wanted to share. Remember, because you saw the Ryan saying that I just opened your thing. Jeremy gave it to me. Because see, I did. Ryan was moving from California to Texas or to Florida.
Well, he's
right?
in Florida, I thought, right?
Yeah, now. But he was in the process of moving when I mailed him, when I was wanting to mail him his logo that I made him. Okay. So I got a hold of Jeremy and I went ahead and mailed it to Jeremy. Okay. So that he could give it to Ryan because I knew Ryan was going there. Okay. So this was what Ryan did for me when he opened his gift, and he made this video for me. So I just wanted to share it with you. So just watch this. It's really nice. It made me feel so good. You can see it right here behind him on the table. I made him that. So here we go.
Just saying. Now, I hope Janet is still here. I saw Janet from another planet in the chat. If she's not here, I'm going to make sure that she sees this somehow. But one of the first things I got when I came here to Florida was Janet sent me something that was really cool. And it's this right here. Now, this is made with like rhinestones, I guess. She sent me a wonderful little note. Very nice, Janet. You're awesome. Thank you so much. But I want to make sure you guys saw this. It's in my old RK Outpost logo. It's done with like rhinestones. And I don't think that it probably does it justice right here because of the way the lights are and everything. You can see my fucking reflection. But thank you so much for this. This is really fucking cool, Janet. You're amazing. And I really love the note that you put in there and the kind words. So I'm gonna find a good place probably a little bit better place to just saying.
But yeah, it made me feel so good that that he made this video for me and did that and spoke out, you know, because it really made me feel thankful, because I wanted to share a note with them, and I made all of their logos for them simply because they helped me through a lot of, you know, bad times. And and I like doing this stuff. So I was going to show you, I made one for Doomcock. I made one for Nerdrotic, and I made one for Az. And Az was on my show. He came on my show and stuff. But I don't know if I can. Let me click on this picture. Can you guys see it? Can you still see the picture?
Nope.
Not?
Nope.
You
It's
don't
just you and me.
Okay, hold on. Damn it. Hold on. I gotta. Did you get to see the video of Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
So, hold on. Let me do
Ryan
this
Cannell
again.
actually knows his stuff when it comes to leaks. He keeps up with actual leaks and debunks the fake ones all the time.
But see, I made this. Can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
For Heel versus Babyface.
Yep.
And yeah, and see, you can see that these are all individual little stones. And then I had it framed for him, and I mailed it to him. It took forever because I had talked to Eric, and he was helping me because he's a wrench for you know, for
the greatest wrench of all the fandom.
Yeah. Okay. He's a really wonderful person, and he helped me get the address and stuff. And the address I got from Doomcock was thanks to Clobby, you know, because I used to go to Clobby's show every Saturday night. And that's how I became real good friends with Eric and a few other people because we all love Star Trek.
I
Right.
miss Bobby.
Oh, me too.
You know, Janet, we should have invited him for that Flash Gordon cartoon we watched.
I know. I told you I wanted to do it, but the thing is, it's too late now. But the thing is I know he loved me because he sent me special notes all the time. It was always so encouraging and stuff. Can you see that I'm scrolling or not?
Yep.
Okay.
I see one for Doomcock.
Yeah. See, I made one for Doomcock. It's got some reflection from the light, you know, there. And then this one I made for Nerdrotic, and they're all the same size, like the one you saw Ryan holding. And then this was one that I made right here. And I see all the little characters I put underneath the pictures. The one with
I think it's great you got the miniatures for all those figs.
Yeah, it was hard too. It was really hard to find the right ones because Ultron, a little tiny 3-inch Ultron, this big as this guy right here, as a Daredevil, was $200. It was terrible, so I couldn't afford to buy it to be able to sell it for the price it was. And then the picture for the character from the Guardians of the Galaxy one I had to paint myself too. So, and Deadpool I painted myself because I couldn't find a Deadpool. So I took a Venom agent and repainted it and made it into Deadpool to go underneath it. So I'd have all the characters underneath. But that person really loved it. And I'll only make one. So I can't make another one like this one because to me it would go against my everything that I say that I want to do. And I want to make you a logo one day whenever I get a chance to. But I just love this stuff. You know, I just love these people, everyone that I've met, getting to watch drunk 3PO walk around the parks, you know, and just talk about different things. I just loved it. I love all these people. I love watching them interact with each other, all of this stuff, because I don't know, it means something to me that I feel like, even though I've never met them in person yet, one day I will, I feel like I have a kinship with some of these people because we all love the geekdom. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? But yeah, I just love it. I'm so thankful that, I say that a lot, but I'm thankful that that I met you, and I met Ruben, and I've met a lot of wonderful people since I started getting to do this, and I love doing it. And so if I never make a dime, I think I'll live as long as I can have other money coming in, from my art or for, promos or whatever else I can do to make a few dollars. I mean, in a good way, not anything illegal.
I gotta say, the Geeks and Gamers really showcased to me how I would want to set up like if I won the lottery, like how I would set it up. I like their house. I like the way they have everything. Jeremy Griggs is really
Yeah,
talented.
his is out in the pool house. He has a pool house. That's where he put his studio.
And I don't know if I'd want to have it in a pool house. I'd probably want to have it in like I wouldn't have a pool. Like I might have a jacuzzi, not a pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have it in the man shed, or the like. If we're talking about like just dreams and stupid boy dreams, like okay, I'd have a giant garage to where I could have all my dad's woodworking tools there. That way, I could be certain my dad be safe. He'd be here during the winter, and he'd do whatever he wanted, because I don't want to have to deal with going up to Illinois whenever somebody has a medical emergency or they die, and it's fucking winter. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, just put them on ice. I'll be there in the spring when your miserable state like dethaws. And I know that sounds ever so uncouth, but I just hate Illinois. I can't really say anything nice about Illinois. No, like all your friends that work in HR, all your
I don't have any relatives at all that live in the state of Illinois. That's one state I can definitely say I have no one there.
The majority of mine live in Illinois. The minority of mine live in Florida. And then you have me and my cousin who moved to Texas, and you couldn't dislodge us from this place.
The one thing that really broke my heart about Clobby is every week, we would chat back and forth, in DMs on X and on Discord and stuff like that. But we love Star Trek, and he knew I loved it, and we talk about different things, and I'd send him pictures of different things that I had, Star Trek stuff, and he kept inviting me on the show, and then I would get ready to go, and something would come up on his family or on my side. So it was always one, or it's always something. But what really crushed me is when I really started getting to talk to him more, and then I found out that he lived in New Orleans, and he had a his own comic shop and stuff. He didn't have it anymore, but he used to. He was telling me all about this stuff, and I'm like, I've been down there. I've been there. I've been here. All these places. When I never met him in person, and that really sucked. And then by the time I finally get a chance to maybe meet him, I'm in Arkansas now. At the time, and then, he fell in the parking lot.
They wake up and he's gone, and I'm like, what? Wait, what? And Malkany is like telling me, Bruce, we lost Clobby. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And we had just done the Flash Gordon, the greatest story ever told movie, which is still probably my favorite Flash Gordon script. And that was his as well, which I thought was kind of weird, because like I thought I was the only person in this entire group that had ever seen that. And that's really if you like Flash Gordon, just look up The Greatest Story Ever Told. It's an animated movie from 1984, I want to say, and it kind of ties together some plot threads from the old Flash Gordon TV series, but it takes Ming in a new direction, and it's damn good. I think I rated that like an 88 or a 90, really high. But it's one of my favorite cartoons to watch. And I still watch cartoons. I have no problem admitting that. Of course, I also play with figurines. The Gordon cereal with Mr. Crab, absolutely. But I haven't done that in like 20 years. And I actually found somebody uploaded everything to the internet.
See, look, I play with figurines too. I don't paint them like you do, but I play with them. And I have lots of stuff. I mean, I'll have to walk through and do you
need to do a tour of your
tour of all my shit so people can see it. I mean, like I sent you one of these.
I've
I
got
told
one.
you I got a Trumpinator, So, and I sent you one, but, I just got lots of shit, because I like this stuff and I actually play with my stuff. I read my comic books, and I just have them everywhere. I have tons of stuff.
What's the last comic book you read there, Janet?
Let me see. It was one of the Guardians of the Galaxy ones, but I couldn't tell you exactly which one. I'd have to go pull it out.
Okay. GOG. Okay. The last comic I read was Ronin, and I'm getting ready to reread all 18 issues of Ragnarok, which is Walt Simonson's version of Thor that he had an idea for about maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's if you like Walt Simonson's Thor, it's absolute must read. It really is good. And I think IDW, as much as IDW is a woke little shithead company, they put out they are.
Mm-hmm.
But they put out 3 really good comic books because Walt Simonson headed it up, and he kind of showed you what he would like to do with Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a whole new set of stories, 18 issues to be precise, and then it just kind of leaves you hanging because Walt Simonson got a gig, and so they have to drop it now.
Yeah.
But it's his last huzzah, and in my opinion, it's the best Thor that we'll ever have. Their theory licenses are really good. I need to get up on the new Conan that's been coming out, and the Frazetta girls on Twitter talk about the new Conan stuff they're doing, and I'm very happy for them. They're turning the Conan Frazetta brand into something that's actually worth it. Unfortunately, they're making a Fire and Ice board game, and I'm not impressed with it so far. They've got good miniatures, but I hate the game board. The game board looks way too basic.
Keep talking. I'm trying to find something real quick. Just give me a minute.
So, Janet, when you come back, I got a meme to share. I think it's funny, but I'm also an asshole.
Yes, you can be.
This is part of that. Let me know when you're sharing it. I'll read the narration at the top.
I'll share it and then I'll come back over here and look at something. I was going to show you the comic book series I was wanting to read again. So let me put yours up there.
Let me know when you got it because I'm focusing on my screen. Okay. Every day, poor Nabib has to travel 6 miles for fresh water on a bike with no wheels or seat. For a one-time donation of $12, we will send you the DVD. It's fucking hilarious. I think this is funny. I'm sorry.
Damn it, I can't find it. Where did I put it?
Grumpy, the Marvel Conan stuff from 1978, 1979 is one of my first memories I have, because I was at the barber shop and they just had a smattering of comics and magazines for you to read while you're waiting for your child to get their haircut or whatever it was. I remember Terry, Mr. McCain was there, and he was getting ready to trim my hair up, and I just remember seeing this giant picture of a Cyclops getting ready to eat Conan because he had him standing in the palm of his hand. It was a great picture. Oh, Marvel had a lot of good money back then, and Frazetta delivered. He always did, but that's just one of those things. You mean current Marvel Conan? The OG Marvel Conan's great. Yes, I'm talking about the OG stuff. I haven't looked at the new stuff. I should. I got the Dragon's Lair right across the street from me. I should go over there and check that out. Alex Raymond's Flash Gordon comics. No, Hardwick, are they good? That would like Alex Raymond's Flash Gordon comics. One would think like this is like, amazing top tier stuff. I've read some comics before that were the origin of a series. and I realized that later on, the revisions they did on certain characters actually made more sense to me than the original series did. So I'm not exactly an erudite scholar that's like, oh no, you have to look at these initial things. Alex Raymond started the Flash Gordon stuff back in 34, and I would imagine it would be very. I would bet these are really imaginative, but I don't know if I would enjoy all of them. If I could be honest, because there's sometimes that like you'll have a story and it comes out, and then like 5 decades later, science has kind of changed or things have changed in it, and so you have to put yourself literally in the mindset of a kid during the 1930s. And Flash Gordon's supposed to be escapism, but whenever you're reading it, you're trying to have a hard time reading it because like, wait a second, no, petroleum pumping works like this or that or whatever the thing is that causes your brain to stutter. Okay, so Hardwick explains the stories are simple by today's standards, but good in my honest opinion. And the artwork is absolutely amazing. Yes, the artwork for Raymond is amazing. When I say amazing, go watch the first 3 minutes of Flash Gordon, or first 5 minutes, because you get that awesome fucking Queen song. But all those images you see coming up on screen, that's actual Alex Raymond. He drew all that. That's stuff that the director of that movie, that Dino De Laurentiis, would not let go. He wanted to have the look of the old Flash serials at the start of the show, and that's.
Well, remember the couple of times I've told the story about when I had bought VIP tickets to get to finally meet Stan Lee.
Yep.
At a Wizard Con, right? And I was so excited because these are the comic books I took. This Firestar.
Hold those up and
see
Firestar. Now, wasn't she created kind of late in the game?
Well, yeah, a little bit, but she was a great character. I loved her. I thought she was awesome.
I'm not saying she was a bad character.
Oh.
If I remember right, wait, was it Firestar or was it Sunfire that was on the Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Friends?
I think it was Sunfire. But
Okay.
the thing is, this girl I liked because I liked her who she was. But see this one with Wolverine? He's getting his ass kicked and he's wearing brown.
Yeah.
His brown uniform. It's hard to see. I'm trying to get it to where it's not so glare. But I took these because I wanted to get them autographed, and it was I was so excited because he was the only one left alive that had anything to do with this series right here that I have. And I had VIP tickets, and I was excited. I made a whole costume to wear. I was going to be the queen of comics, and I had a scepter and a crown and everything. I got the whole outfit, and I never wore it. I wore it that one time, and I've not worn it since because, I just haven't worn it for anything. So one day when we're doing a show, maybe we'll do a comic book show and I can wear my costume for it. But this is the series that I would read again. These are the ones that aren't opened because I haven't opened these. And this is my favorite series. And if I could ever see this made into a series on TV or a series of movies, I think they would be kick ass. They got some of my favorite characters in them. It's the Midnight Suns. Have you ever heard of the Midnight Suns?
Yeah, that's your favorite group out of the entire Marvel.
They just got so many. It's got Ghost Rider, and it's got Doctor Strange, and a couple of them. It's got Morbius. I'm trying to remember everybody. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I read them all, but I just absolutely love it. I love I just love the dark arts. I love the bad boys that do good things or something. I don't know how you would put any of that, but I got other stuff. I don't just collect just comic book stuff. Like this is from the Planet of the Apes, General Zod. his whole thing. I've got a stand and everything for him over there. But then I have this doll that I was able to get, and I got a couple other dolls. This is Sweet Pea from the movie. Remember when that movie came out?
Mm-hmm.
See, look at him. Isn't he adorable? I got that, and then I have a couple of these type of figures.
Hey, Warrior. Yeah, we're live, buddy.
So, you know, I can help it. I love this stuff, and I like to look at it. I like to play with them and pick them up, and I just enjoy it. This is the stuff that I have in my house. This is what I like. And my sisters have always made fun of me because I've always been into this.
This is a
Oh,
comic.
that's beautiful.
This is a comic from 97, 99. Shadow from Shadow and Son sent me this because I sent him some stuff, and
Yeah.
we trade. He's a good character. He's a good guy. He's a good character. Don't want him playing a RPG with you guys because there's friction. Mainly Chris. I hate to say that. I like Chris a lot, but I've known Chris for 10 years, and I'm going to pay back his loyalty to my table by getting rid of the offending party, which that sadly was Shadow. But this is a 4-issue set for Mutant Chronicles, and there was a movie, Mutant Chronicles, back 2012 or 2011, and it was in development hell for years. But Mutant Chronicles it's based on an RPG, and it's kind of like the Warhammer 40K killer.
Yeah.
But this is a really good, gritty, wants to be cyberpunk techno fantasy set against the backdrop of a warlike Catholic Church that's against the demons of the apocalypse. And the demons of the apocalypse are here. And even when I just talk about that, like I automatically, my brain's like, I could probably go run a Mutant Chronicles campaign because it's a very fun campaign world. It's not for very good long play, but it's a really fun campaign world filled with a lot of action, adventure, and there's stuff that happens. It is such a good millennium. And the movie with Thomas Jane did not do the series any favors, and that's sad because when you have artwork like this, it made me so sad. It was just detailed and nasty, and all the things you see in this are just visceral, and like every third page you see somebody's arm get blown off with bone and viscera. So that's a comic I want to read.
Yeah. 100% understand, believe me. And I just love some of the, that's what I'm worried about. I'm really worried that because of AI, I'll never see this again. I'll never see an actual comic book that was drawn with someone's hands, you know what I mean? And came from their imagination.
It's a slippery slope. I don't like AI. I hate Twitter for the fact that we get so many bombarded messages to us, and 98% of it's bots wanting to, like, let me have your photo, let me have your skin suit, let me have your digital fucking persona. I'm going to go pretend to be you, Janet, and that's how it is. It's just that's how I view the AI. It's trying to figure out itself, and I'm going to grab money from everybody I think I can get it from. I just can't stand AI. I think it's just a scam. I think it's they're using AI to steal the nation's water because we have to have some way to cool down these stupidly large quantum computers, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why would I want to volunteer my life source for your stupid toaster? Fuck you.
Well, I don't know. I just wanted to share a little bit about me, about what I love, and that even if I don't get to ever do a live stream again, or, something happens where I can't do that stuff, I still have all this stuff. Okay. And this is what I can do. I can go to little shows or whatever and have fun. I can go to I used to go almost every year to Vegas because I had relatives and cousins and stuff that live in Nevada, and I could go to the Star Trek show, that they had, and spend all day there, And yeah, see, those are beautiful. So talented.
I'll be varnishing these probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's our high level game. Warrior, I as much as people are saying I gotta adapt for AI, I don't. AI is not going to drive the truck that I have to drive to go get shit or grease. AI is not going to open the gate for me. AI is not going to, like, if you guys want to roll over and let AI take over, go ahead. I'm not. I'm going to be a dick. I want to keep pumping a fucking clutch and manual shift. I have no interest in it.
I mean, just think about it, Bruce. They kept saying that we were going to be, all the cars were going to be battery operated, electric cars, but I don't see a semi. How are you going to get a semi that carries, refrigerated food through 7 states?
HEB has electric semis right now.
How far can they go?
San Antonio. They go maybe 100 miles from their charging station. We've got a guy that sits in a couple of them, and the truck tries to get in position so he can back it in. All he does the entire time is he watches and he tries not to fall asleep.
Wow,
and that's
how
really
exciting.
difficult because when you're not fucking with the wheel, when you're not engaged with the driving, your brain turns, it switches, and next thing you know, like, you're trying not to fall asleep, so you're like grabbing sunflower seeds or smoking a cigarette or whatever you got to do to stay awake. And AI hasn't figured out how to back a truck into a dock on a regular yet. So, thank God for that. But at the same time, it hasn't figured out how to clean out a grease trap because it just doesn't. They don't do that sort of thing yet. We're not at that level. I am impressed.
I'm gonna still do what I want to do. This kind of stuff. Go to Comic-Cons and walk around, dress up in a costume, look at comic books, look at memorabilia, talk to other people that are wearing costumes about things that I love and that I'm interested in. And I don't see AI doing that. AI is not going to walk around dressed in a costume like me, paint myself green or blue, I just don't see it doing that. So yeah, I'm still going to have fun as long as I can and enjoy what I have. And if I have to just read my old stuff, that's what I'll do. I'll just read my old stuff.
I'd rather read the old stuff. I'd rather, me and Bear were talking about it earlier today. Like there's like an entire section of movies. Like we haven't even fucked with the horror from the 1980s yet. We could talk about horror from the 1980s. We could all, because there's garbage and there's good stuff, and we got to sort it out and figure out like where certain movies went wrong and other things. It's just how I view it. And there's so many good movies from the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s that I'm all right not being on the cutting edge of stuff. The Avengers got not canceled, set back from May of next year to December of next year. No, Grumpy, we have not done the Rocketeer yet. I want to watch the Rocketeer. I've never seen it all the way through. I know how it ends, guy gets girl, but I'm really okay with waiting for that, because that movie, from everyone else's perspective, they say this movie is like the pulp movie you got to watch.
So when do you want to put it on the list?
It'll be in July, probably like the first Monday of July, first Sunday of July.
But
I want to put Rocketeer towards like the July 4th.
Because this weekend, this Sunday, in 2 days from now, we're going to be doing the 13th Warrior, which I'm excited about because that is a movie that I picked that I want us to
that's a good movie.
Watch. I think it's a great movie. I really enjoyed it, and I've seen it multiple times. So
I saw it in opening night, and it was good. It's not great. It's not one of my favorite movies by any means, but it's a fun movie to watch. and it sometimes you just need a movie that's good.
I found it very inspiring. I mean, in religious my religious point of view of it, and that still hasn't changed. I will always, that one scene is my favorite scene, which I'm sure you've already heard me say before, but I can't help it.
I think the first act of 13th Warrior is great. Like the rest of the movie's good too, but the first act for me, like showing you how he journeys from his land of home and comfort, and as he's around all these barbarians and they're talking about his mother and how she's like a dog, blah blah blah. I think just that just grips so well. And there's very few times where I've watched a John McTiernan movie and there's like a scene that's not a lot of action, but it's all dialogue. And that scene on the boat as they're sailing towards his new home is so good. And I the rest of the movie could have been shit and I still would enjoy it.
Well, I enjoyed almost every detail of the movie, the scenery, the costumes, because you know how I love period clothing. I just absolutely love the costumes and things like that. And it's eerie and creepy, but
Hardwick will be going through Gilded probably, or through StreamYard, not StreamYard, Restream. But I'll have Janet send you the link if you don't mind.
If you want to watch it with us, we'd love to have you come. We try to invite people every week. It seems like people just aren't interested in watch the movies that we enjoy. We'd love to have you come.
I've only seen him one time this week, but I saw Six Nations, 31 Kings, and Gilded, and apparently I bombed him with some funny meme because he said my coffee came out the nose.
Would there be snacks? Sure, if you bring them.
Yeah. All the snacks you want, sir.
So yeah, there's always snacks. At least I try to have snacks.
Janet's on diabetes. No, she's not. But she prepares like she's on it.
Yeah, like when we play a game, I have a bowl and I have sometimes I'll have blackberries or cherries or grapes. Then I have pepperonis and I have cheese, and then pretzels or whatever I can eat, and a big jug of pink lemonade that I eat while we're playing the game. So it's fun. And
I gotta say this blueberry tea is badass.
So, but it's what time is it now?
12:37.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime, but because I got to get up early and go to the gym, so I'll be back before we have our game because I didn't get to go today. I had so many things that I was trying to get done.
Janet, you're talking to a guy that he went to work at, what time was that? 11:20, 11:40 last night, and I took a half-hour nap at like 7 to 7:30.
Well,
I worked for 14 hours today from midnight to 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm kind of tired too. I get it.
Yeah,
but I did paint some figurines. And I'm really happy about that.
Well, I didn't paint anything. Oh, I went and I got my nails done. Got my nails done.
Oh, there's that.
That's why I didn't get to go to the gym because I'm like, I got to get my fingers done.
You ever see Angela Johnson talk about getting her nails done at the Korean shop?
Yeah, when she's done like, oh, but so pretty, you need to have that gel, whatever. So now. Yeah, she's adorable. It's really funny. You're gonna get mani petty. Gonna get your nails done and get a petty. Yeah, it's funny. But that's how it is. But they're good at it. I mean, they are really good. The guy that does my nails, it's a man. He's the husband of the woman that owns the place that I go to.
Okay. Okay.
Does a good job.
I guess I'm going to turn this over to you so you can close this out. I've enjoyed hanging out with all you guys.
This was
tonight.
great. This has been
all
fun. This is what I did a couple times when I talked to Clobby when we do it's just a video chat or whatever. I would show him some of my goodies and he'd show me some of his goodies or whatever. It was fun because we just got to be ourselves, and talk about things that we love. I mean, I just love my stuff. And what's so funny is if someone came, when the guy came here to do the cable to put my hard line into my computer, and he's going through the house checking stuff, and he's looking around, and I have stuff here and there, around the house, but as you come into this room, it's like, someone who's can be overwhelmed by it. He looked at first, he saw some stuff, in the hallway, got autographed pictures, things like that, and he's like, "Wow, you can collect a lot of things." I go, "Yeah, I collect stuff." Like that. I didn't know what to say. And then when he came in, he goes, "Holy shit, you got some cool stuff." He just loved it. So some people like it, and other people look and they just want to leave because they think that, oh, she's not a normal person. So
Hardwick, you talked to Janet on X?
Not really. We talk on
Hardwick. I did not delete my Discord. It was deleted by a hacker.
Yeah, he got
a
hacked.
nasty hack. I got the guy. I know who did it. Just like I thought. There's a tracking that goes into St. Louis. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we hope we get it fixed. Because I love my Discord. I really love it.
I'm not a fan of Discord. I like Gilded better, even though Gilded is owned by shitty Roblox. The resolution's better. The sound is better. It's better. There's a bunch of things that Discord puts firewalls up, and you got to knock things down with your credit card in order to get the really good sound, the really good resolution. Just that's bullshit. It's just my opinion.
Well, I want to thank you to everyone for hanging out with us. We got 92 people watching right now, so that's great.
You.
So thank you so much, everybody, for wanting to hang out with a couple of nerds that likes to talk about politics and shit to get stuff off our chest. But
we have a whole stack of stuff that we didn't even get to today.
Yeah, we had a few other things that we didn't do, but that's okay. We don't have to get to all of it. I got to this stuff, and this stuff's important to me. I like this stuff. So, but thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if you want, you can come and check us tomorrow. We're going to be playing Bruce's game that he's writing.
Tomorrow is Pathfinder. Pathfinder, Janet.
It's not that one?
Yeah, last week was... let me see. I'm pretty certain last week was the low-level game.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, we did. We already played that one. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like that one.
Sorry, I got mixed up.
It's okay. It's all right.
Playing the big game, so maybe I can find out if is Melinda going to be playing.
I wish she was. I don't know.
She hasn't responded or anything. So if she doesn't want the bag, which is fine, I got another person who would love to have me to send it to him. So that's why I'm trying to find out if she wants me to mail it to her or not. Because if she doesn't, I'll just send it to this other woman.
She does. She does. I think you should.
Well, if you can get a hold of her for me and say, hey,
try
send her your address so she can mail you this bag because it's ready to be mailed.
And if you guys are wanting to watch me claw my eyes out, we watched a movie last Sunday, which I've tried watching before numerous times, and I watched it fully last Sunday for the first time, and I want my hour and a half back, but whatever. Eddie and the Cruiser, not a movie I like.
It wasn't bad.
It's not a.
I loved it.
It wasn't Powder. It wasn't G.I. Jane. It just wasn't fun. Like it's a well put together movie.
So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say you don't like the movies that I picked? You didn't like Victor Victoria. You didn't like Mars of the Real Girl.
Did you not hear I just said Victor Victoria is a good movie? I didn't like Lars and the Real Girl. I don't think anybody liked Lars and the Real Girl. I remember Vanessa put out this if it would have been on lined college rule paper, it would have been 4 pages of her just bitching about the mental illness throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
I
don't care. I still liked it. Well, that was good.
Let's see the last movie you picked that I really enjoyed.
We did Tombstone.
The Last Unicorn.
The Last Unicorn. I didn't pick that one.
You didn't?
That was
Nations?
No. Crafting Gamer.
Crafting Gamer. Okay, that was a good movie.
Mhm.
Um,
And I liked it too.
Buckaroo Banzai was Bear. The Descent was me. That was a fun movie.
Yeah, I'd have to look at my list of my movies, and I could tell you all the ones I picked.
Willow. We watched Willow
Yeah,
2 months
Willow.
ago.
That was one I picked.
That's a good movie. Rest in peace, Val. That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had before that we watched Hoodwinked, which I'd never seen that before.
I didn't pick that one.
That was Crafting Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Life Force, which was my pick because I get to watch Matilda May wander around naked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing
Total
wrong with that movie.
nudity.
And then you have Shaft. That was a good period piece. That's like one of the founding movies you watch if you want to know, like, okay, what's blaxploitation? Here you go, watch this.
Addams Family, that was for me.
That was
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, that was me.
I didn't like that now. When I was a kid, I loved that movie.
Yeah. You picked the FDR American Badass.
I love that movie.
Oh my God, that poop in the jar stuff was, I almost started throwing up. It was disgusting. It's totally disgusting. Let's see. You picked a bunch of these other ones in the line. I'm going down. Oh, I picked The Witches of Eastwick.
Star Crash, 1978. Oh, you mean Turkish Star Wars. That's what you mean.
Oh, and I picked Jaws.
That's a good movie.
That was a good one. Let's see.
That's a classic. That's one of the reasons why we don't go in the water.
Because you picked The General's Daughter. There was a History of Violence.
Yeah, I did pick General's Daughter. I picked the
In
History of Violence.
And then they got the Gamers Darkness Rising, The Godfather, Cutthroat Island, Girl Guy in a Movie we did, The Flash Gordon. I picked G.I. Jane, Fire and Ice, and then I picked Thelma and Louise, which you didn't really like.
That movie I'll still bitch about because I can see there's a good movie there. I can see there's a quality film.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I talk about Thelma and Louise, the more I want to strangle Ridley Scott for cursing my life with that film.
You hated the ending. I know. I thought
The
you
ending
should.
was
But
such
I
shit.
picked the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. That was another one I picked.
All right. It's Dolly. I mean,
let's see.
The best Caroline Munro movie. I'm torn between Journey to the Center of the Earth or the Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. I don't know which one I like more. I just know I love Caroline Munro, and she's still in her. She's almost she's a septenarian. She still looks great today. Like, give her a hug and you'll get a stiffy. So it looks great today. Like,
I picked Wind River.
Wind River's great.
I thought was really, really good. Did I pick Overboard?
No, because I wanted to watch a Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn.
You wanted to watch a Kurt Russell movie. Okay.
I want to watch Goldie. I want to see Goldie and her husband, not husband. I want to see Goldie and not her husband in a movie together.
Did I pick Blade Runner or did you pick it?
I think I did.
Or did we both wanted it?
The bad thing is that, like, when I watch Blade Runner now, like, I realize just how much I like the original theatrical cut much more than the any other cut of Blade Runner.
Mm.
And save for the fact that I have bad taste, but I actually do like Harrison Ford doing the worst narration he ever could, because that adds some actual character to it. And he sounds like he absolutely hates everything about his life, which is exactly, as a director, what I would want him to do. I want you to sound like you fucking hate this. And so, like, Harrison Ford trying to be a little putz instead turned out to be one of the greatest things he ever did. In my opinion, like, give that man another little doobie stick because he earned it. he earned his little doobie snack.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, back in the 70s and 80s, he was a hell of a pothead. Fucking Shadow's over there. It's like, oh yeah, I know that guy. And they're all watching Star Wars. He's like, that's my weed dealer. That's how he got fucking Carrie Fisher in bed.
Oh, well, plus I picked remember Nefarious?
Nefarious is great.
Yeah, that was a good one. I picked that. And then I picked Powder, which you didn't like.
Golden Voyage of Sinbad. That's what it was. You know, I could watch all the Harryhausen films.
But yeah, I picked quite a few that were halfway decent that you thought were, all right.
Yeah,
and
you picked
Goonies was picked by someone, a friend of mine that wanted to, he bought a super chat.
Well. I hope that guy's doing well. I hope whatever's going on, hope it chilled him. Hardwick, the more you talk about this, the more I just think like we have to go from Harryhausen month to Caroline Monroe month because Caroline Monroe was great. I mean, she's like Janet.
What do you mean? I'm not blonde.
You're irresistible.
Well, she dyed her hair blonde too.
Yeah, she died all the
she
time.
Was brunette.
You see her now, and you're like, she's dark haired. Man, she's still got an impressive physique. I'm sorry. I can talk about her like that because she's not you, Janet. If I ever talk about like that about you, you can slap me.
But the thing is, if some people have it, some people don't. You take care of yourself. You have to eat right. Do things that are good for you. But yeah, it's really getting late. It's almost 1 a.m. So I'm gonna have to say goodnight to everybody. But thank you guys.
I got to ask one thing, one major thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to pick a movie for us to watch, this is your movie you want us to watch, and it's based on one thing, and it's eye candy of the lead. What movie or what actor would it be?
If I was going to pick an eye candy movie today that I'm in the mood for,
it could be today's movies, or it could be.
No, I mean today. Of thinking about eye candy, I would pick the movie Swordfish.
Oh, okay. I forgot you heavily crush on Hugh.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's very attractive. I mean, and I didn't really like him at first as Wolverine because he was tall and good looking. Wolverine isn't.
Okay, I'll put that on the list. Did you ever see The Fountain?
Was that the one with him in it? And he was traveling, trying to find a cure for his wife. I thought it was horrible.
Oh, damn it!
I thought it was a horrible movie. I mean, I just didn't fill any gaps for me. I just thought it was, all right. It was okay. I mean, but I hadn't seen it.
I thought the 3 stories in it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't interesting. It was interesting. It was just okay. It just wasn't,
You have a higher standard.
Swordfish was way better.
Movies. That's so cute.
Hey, I told you when I first found out that he was going to be Wolverine, I was like, what? He's a real tall guy. He's not Wolverine.
They filmed that movie perfectly. The first X-Men was filmed so well. And he looks like a shrimp in that movie. He looks like a Tom Cruise.
But he's not. He's tall.
Speaking of which, June 6th, The Ballerina comes out.
I haven't seen the stuff for it yet. Who's in it?
Anna Taylor-Joy and Keanu Reeves. She is a ballerina trained by the Russian mob, and she's an assassin. And at one point, I believe she goes after Wick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's John Wick character? Okay, so she's going to be taking his place, I guess, as the new assassin.
I'm tempted. Anna de Armas, my bad. I get those two confused. It's fucking Anna's. God damn it. It's a John Wick spinoff.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Hopefully it's successful. I want to go see Nobody, the second Nobody.
Part 2 looks great.
Yeah, I just thought Nobody was fucking kick ass. And see, that's a movie I'd like to review. And it's full of action, but I just thought it was so well done.
It's not only it's actually more realistic for me than John Wick. There's some stuff in John Wick where like he doesn't put enough space between him and the bad guys.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's that, okay, a person is only a person. Real people are not superheroes. So when you get the shit beat out of it, you should look like you got the shit beat out of you. John Wick was able to stand up and go no matter how much he got hit. And Nobody, at least he was covered with bruises and swelled and closed eyes and you know, cuts and scrapes. You know what I mean? So
not only that, but just the fighting style that he employed through that movie. It looks much more visceral and bone breaking, even though
it looks real.
Yeah, and it's primarily the same people for the fight choreography.
And the fight in the my favorite scene in that movie that you got me to watch about the zombie people living underneath New York City, basically.
Midnight Meat.
Yeah, Midnight Meat Train. The fight scene with the Asian girl on the bus was fucking badass. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. I thought, and it was realistic.
Are you talking about Midnight Meat Train, or are you talking about the Raid Part 2? Because there's a Raid Part 2 where the girl's on the bus and she pulls her hammers out and she starts.
Yeah, that's it. That's the movie. So what movie was that?
That's the Raid Part 2.
Okay, well that one I thought was awesome. I mean, that was, see, I love that kind of stuff. I love like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all those movies. I love that kind of fights.
Extraction is the movie that I want to see if I can find a rip of. If I can find that, we'll watch that movie.
But yeah.
Here's a sneak peek into what's going to go on 2 Sundays from now. Next, on this coming Sunday, we're watching The 13th Warrior. However, the last Sunday of May. Oh shit! The first Sunday of June, we're watching Dark Blue with Kurt Russell and Ving Rhames. I've been talking about this movie. For years. Janet, one of my favorite films. It's absolutely dark as shit. And when you watch it, you're like, what the fuck?
Nobody's pooping in a jar, right?
It's a Kurt Russell movie.
I know, but nobody's Bone Tomahawk was Kurt Russell, and it was a devastating movie.
I've never seen that. I've never seen Bone Tomahawk.
It was gruesome. I mean, it was just, you got to watch it. It's Kurt Russell, and he's good in it, but it's spine tingling. You need to watch it. Bone Tomahawk.
I'll look for it. I've heard everybody and their brother says Bone Tomahawk's a visceral movie.
It's gritty, and it's just scenes in it that I was shocked by. But when I was talking to my my relatives on the with the American Indian side, you know what I'm saying? They said that kind of stuff did happen. So I was like, oh my God, how horrible. So I can understand what it must have been like for our early people that first came here and had to deal with some of these tribes that did that kind of stuff. Why they were petrified, of being out in the middle of nowhere with no help. So yeah, it's scary. And what one tribe might do to another one. But well, thanks everybody. And I guess I'll get ready to go to bed because, man, I'm beat. I'm really tired.
I feel you so much.
So thank you, Bruce.
Everyone. God bless you.
God bless America.
First off, let me convey to my family, friends, and supporters that now is not the time to gloat. We must remember that most of our left-leaning friends are good people who want the same things in life as we do, but simply think differently on how to get there. It is now time to be the bigger man, to extend an olive branch and unite all reasonable people of this great nation. God has blessed America, and together with President Trump, we will make America great again.